WJBW is made possible by sausage. Stick one in your mouth.
Hey, all you racists out there, you should not be listening to our show because we do not like you. JB Red Show.
Next.
Bob Leamy is the one guy that I know that has a drill bit big enough to do a big, nice glory hole at any truck stop he goes to.
You're very silly. You know that. It's silly, man.
Nope. Fastest man to woman. That's what we're going to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't listen to some of our podcasts.
Maybe that's where it's at.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, some people are into that. I know there's a website.
Fucking asinine.
Some shit like that. You gotta do the Rocky Mountain High.
Big disco.
Boy. Everybody get the Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah, I like
it. What's up, welcome back. The JB Rev Show on the weekly. We are doing it, talking with talented people, and it's 9 years strong. This is our season 9er. So give us a little credit here once in a while, okay? Thank you, because we will take that shit. We will take the credit if we can get it. If we can get it, we will take that credit. But on this edition, I want to tell you real quick. We're doing about 5 different interviews from the past, and these are all going to be from 2016. And we start out with episode 149. It was basically the tail end of this episode. We got to interview Patrick and Holly Kahn of Snap Orlando. So that episode title is called Snap Your Picture. And at the very end of it, I guess I'll give you a little bit more history. In 2015, it resurrected this show from audio-visual just to all audio and live, most importantly, all live all the time. So then the Reverend came on a couple months after that, in about May, I think it was. He came on, and then we got another kind of a co-host to come on, Jill from Twist. So she came on board, and it was really a lot of drama. Everybody talking all at the same time. Just a real crazy environment. Anyway, so this was relatively early on. It was early on in 2016 when both the Reverend and Jillicious, as we had to call her, got into a little bit of an on-air fight. And Jill walked out, so she quit the show. Anyway, as you'll see in some of these subsequent clips, she came back. So fear not, as it were, I guess, or fear, if that's what you're into. You want to fear? Go ahead, you can do that. But this clip, again, this is about, what is it? Oh my gosh, almost 20 minutes. So this is giving you a little bit of a few years ago, how we used to do things. Give you an idea of some of the big personalities we've had in here. And, throughout this whole episode, this is our premium pieces edition because we're not too cocky to say best of. Don't really want to call it best of stuff. But so I think premium pieces, that's a good way to put the title of what these are. So these are premium pieces from 2016. Here you go. We're just going to go into the tail end of the episode 149, Snap Your Picture, where Jill quits. All right, I'm at Radio JB Web on Twitter. Go to WJBWnetworks.com for everything else we do. You can communicate with us on all these platforms, Spreaker right now. And again, we are live. We're playing pre-recorded bits from the past in case you didn't get it. See you.
The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? We're doing the JB Web show. You know what's up? We got Jillicious in the house. Say what up, Jill.
What up?
Yeah. And of course, JB, man in the shit. So this is a great show tonight. We had Patrick and Holly Kahn and at Narco. And I think that went really well. Actually, I know it went pretty well. But next week, we got George Acosta.
Woohoo!
You got that in. You got that confirmed.
That's for sure.
Okay, all right. That's
George Acosta is a for sure deal.
That's good. Okay.
At 7:30.
That'll be fantastic.
Yep, that's a done deal, my friend.
All right.
And I got to thank Kyle, who's the promoter that is putting this all together. He's going to be at It's not Sweet Bee. It's called Peak. It'll be at Peak.
Right. Yeah.
So
Peak.
George Acosta at Peak next Friday night. So we'll be talking to George next Tuesday night, and that'll be cool.
Okay. So he's calling in, or we're calling. You're working out all the details now.
You know what? I'm telling you.
You're reminding me of
either
Barney
way,
Fife right now.
We will be talking to George Acosta next week.
Done.
He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. I lived in
Okay.
Miami in '93.
Okay.
And he used to work at a record store that I
Okay.
bought my records at.
All right.
So, yeah, I got a lot of rich history with George.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Well, we appreciate you doing that.
All right.
And we appreciate the mix. What and what?
What mix? What mix are you talking about?
The what? The
What
mix?
mix? You
I don't
said-
know. You keep
you
it. Your,
said-
your PR guy
the
keeps
mix,
flagging the
the
Ear
mix.
Theater mix. So go
You
check out
know.
Ear Theater. It's a djpodcast.blogspot.com.
And listen, let me tell you something. I'm proud to announce that this show is now available on Mixcloud. So,
What? Oh, yeah,
if
that's
you'd
right,
like to
Papa.
hear
Nice.
this show, you can go on Mixcloud and put in the WJBW show, and it'll come right up.
WJBW.
And if you want to hear the Ear Theater, just put in Jerry Johnson.
Don't do
Which
that.
is who I
the
am.
Reverend Radio Redo.
No,
I thought.
actually, if you go to Mixcloud,
You go to Mixcloud.
put in Jerry Johnson.
Oh, you want him to follow you personally.
Listen,
Follow
man,
my popsicle trail.
This is a cross promotion all the way around. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It's the WJB Baby show.
What?
The JB Baby show. It's the JBWJB show. Jill, give the promo. Give the promo, Jill. What show is this?
I checked out.
Oh,
Ah.
she didn't. She totally said, "Nah, I'm good."
I'm good.
Oh,
Blah, 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 blah.
JBWJ show.
The WJBW.
WJBW.
no, don't do that.
Show.
Please.
WJBW.
Okay, please don't do that.
Show. Is it
Okay.
is it JBGB?
Come on, you
What
Roscoe
is-
P. Cotrina
what's-
co-hosts.
What's the initials?
I got him on, boss.
So how do you say?
Oh, man.
You act like you're introducing a local legend.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not. No, I wasn't doing that.
Oh,
I didn't.
You
do
weren't.
That.
I think you were.
I didn't do that voice.
You did that voice.
No, I did not.
So how would you do the call? How would you do the call?
Baby, one take, Tony.
How would you do the call?
Okay.
WJBW. See how would you?
So that's
Seriously.
what I would say.
JBW.
Right. WJBW. That's how.
BJ's all around.
Nope.
B-U.
Nobody said that.
FUJB.
It's the way you hear FUJB.
It's
I've heard that one. I've heard that one.
FUJB.
WFUJB.
Where-
WFUJB. Oh, that's
No,
too
wait.
many. Too many
I'm
letters.
looking at it. It's
Are you trying to
WJBW.
Okay.
Okay, enough,
Okay.
Jerry. Anyway, you guys, great show tonight, everybody. Thank you, Patrick and
what,
Holly.
are you
and
closing it
Narco.
out? Oh.
Looking forward to next week with George Acosta.
Hey.
Oh.
Love you guys.
Okay.
No, okay, so Jill's gonna leave. All right, bye, Jill.
JB.
We're talking.
So amazing.
We're
Great
here
show
talking.
tonight,
Salome.
guys.
Salome. Namaste.
Salome.
My gnat may take me away.
You lost me.
Well,
'cause
you're over there on your
we
phone.
Interviewed,
It's like that one. Did you see
Promoting,
the?
bro.
Liba Hut. Oh, okay.
Oh, she's
What?
promoting.
Promoting what?
She's
Me.
WJBW.
stripping on the side, dude. She
networks.com.
told you.
Yeah.
She wanted,
Well,
last week.
Everybody's asking me to strip.
Were
Are
you
you
not here last
documenting
week?
your-
Dude.
Don't make
Are
me
you still-
strip.
I thought
Don't
you
make me
weren't.
strip again, you guys.
I thought
Are you making
no,
me strip
no,
again?
no, we're
Oh,
not. No,
yeah,
we're
yes.
not.
Making
No,
me
I
strip.
thought you were
Oh,
doing
here we
square
go.
dancing. What happened to the square dancing? I thought you were supposed to go take
Wait,
a
hold on.
pole
Keep
dancing
going.
class or something.
Look
Okay.
at that.
Please.
Oh, that should be in a museum.
Okay.
In
Like Smithsonian or something? Is
Yeah,
that-
like
okay, please.
look at, dude, you're missing out, bro.
I
Look
don't think I am.
you-
Hold on. Okay, Jill. All right.
I think
we
she
get
just
the
spun her
idea.
pants.
All right. So there you go. All right. So you're trying. It looks like you popped the hip. Yes. Is that what, popped your hip?
She's,
Yeah.
you know,
She's popping the hip.
if she gets hurt, there's
Yeah,
a
please don't
liability.
twerk. Please
You-
stop trying to twerk. Trying so hard. Please. All right, sit back down, Jill. Jill,
she's
Jill,
hurting
Jill,
the
just sit
twerk.
back down.
She's
Jill.
flapping the twerk. You know what?
All right,
I
so-
gotta give it up because
Please don't. Hold on. Okay. All right.
She's
Somebody say
she gets
it.
an A for effort.
Okay.
That's
Very
A
nice.
plus for effort for sure. Look, she's gonna sit down. She's gonna
I
be totally out of
cranked it
breath.
up.
Hey, put the microphone right up to your mouth right now.
Crank it. Crank it up.
right up to the mic.
Crank it up.
Say it
Put
like
your
a
headphones on.
80s, like a 80s,
Put those headphones on.
like an 80s commercial
I
for
crank it
Capri
up.
Sun.
Did you guys see how I cranked it up? Each of my arms cranked up my booty, and it was like a machine, like a well-oiled machine.
Okay,
My ass started shaking, and it was like
what the hell?
everybody was like, "Wow,
Local
Jill."
legend.
They started throwing dollars at me, lots of dollars.
Local legend.
But I'm tired from cranking it up a little bit, yes. But I did. I cranked it up.
I can't believe you're ruining the after-show.
These guys are gonna have some really, really good, sweet, wet dreams tonight. You guys gonna have some nice dreams about that ass I dropped
I turned
tonight.
Jerry's mic down, Jill.
Good, thank you. Finally.
I did it. Oh no, he's overridden the
He
control.
needed that down
Oh
all
no,
night.
his will is too strong. It's stronger than mine. I must go. His mic is back on. I was unable
I
to
hope it
override.
just stays off. Jerry's trying to catch his breath from watching me drop
like
it.
a castaway demon or
He's-
something.
His breath is taken away by my ass moves.
My inner voice is just screaming.
My ass moves were so,
Someone please help
so
me.
sweet.
Please. They've got me tied up.
Was that you doing the voice, Jerry?
Let me go.
Why didn't you talk at the same time as the voice? That's what's weird.
Oh, my God.
Jerry, did I leave you breathless?
Jerry.
Seriously.
I left you breathless. Did I take your breath away?
Does my nose count? Wait.
Your breath took me away.
What?
Oh,
In
Jerry.
a place called hell.
Go, Jerry.
Wow.
That's mean. I'm being bullied.
Yes, it seems like you are.
I'm calling the
agree.
National
Maybe,
Police
you know what? It was
Association.
either your breath or you
Was it
queefed.
him?
Hey,
But
that's-
either way,
That's
something
not
both of
smelled
those are
dead.
not nice.
Correct.
Both
Just
of
say
those
that.
are
Something smelled
not
dead.
nice.
That's
Something was
really-
dead.
Both of those
It
are
really
not
is.
nice, and we're not friends
Lowered the
anymore.
You guys
scale.
have they done in your teeth?
We're not friends anymore.
What? Are you breaking up with me
Yeah,
again?
I don't like that. That was so not nice.
Whatever. Come
Take
on.
it, take it back.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll take,
oh.
but the smell?
All of it. All of it. You know I'm sweet. You know I'm delicious.
I'm
Cut
glad
it
that
out.
you.
Tell him.
I'll
Tell
tell
him.
It's a horrible smell.
What is it?
It's a horrible smell.
What is it?
Okay, you're a kid
I
in
smell
the
horrible.
playground.
Is that what
I'm a kid in the playground.
Okay.
So mean.
God.
but
Pushing
he's
you
really
off.
just
What
trying to
what
be-
happened over there? Oh my God.
Oh,
so
Jill's inner
mean.
voice fell.
JBW JB
Just gave
Web
up, I
show just dropped something.
I'm out of here, you guys. I'm not friends with Jerry anymore.
Oh yay! Fine.
Truth meter. Oh no! What's going on? A
What
cliffhanger.
happened?
Well, we'll have to find out what happens next week because Jill's literally packing up her stuff.
Finally,
She's angry at Jerry.
Jeez.
No, what are you doing? Why? You,
get
okay.
the hell out
Jill.
of here! Oh my
Jill.
God!
Okay.
Is she being for
All right.
real?
All right.
Is that, this is okay. We should have this Periscope
Wow.
for real. We
Okay.
should have the Periscope. I don't know what's going on.
I feel
right
like
now.
we're going to cut to a commercial for Chili's now. Is that what we should do?
Maybe yeah. Could take
That
a-
was just,
oh,
okay. She's slamming my doors.
Oh my
around
goodness,
the
dude!
office
Is that?
here.
is-
That's
I
horrible.
think this is a bit, right?
Slamming
I'm
doors.
hoping this is a bit.
I'm guessing we're going to get notified later what
Yeah.
this is.
Well, maybe you should go
Maybe
chase
just
after
work
her.
it out. I'm not doing that. No.
Should I
I'm
chase
not
after
doing
her?
that. That's up to you.
Oh my god!
I got to
Maybe-
run something here. I've got to check something.
dude. Yeah,
I'm not prepared to go
dude,
right now.
I
I got to
was
get a song.
was this like I was?
I don't know. Yeah, she just got pissed at you and walked out. So
Wow, that was crazy.
that is exactly what just happened. So that
I hope
was
she didn't hurt my car.
that
Or
was
something.
interesting. I hope not.
Jeez.
Oats-
maybe I should
Oats say,
go after her.
just to go after her.
Maybe okay. Maybe we should go see what's
Oh,
going
give
on.
her more fuel.
You know what?
to-
Why
by
don't you
which
want to play a song? Maybe
totally
you come with me.
take Away.
So
No,
I have a
I'm
witness?
afraid. I'm not leaving.
Dude, I need a
I'm
witness.
not leaving.
I need a
can't
witness.
leave,
Dude.
sir.
Come on.
Sir.
Hey,
Sir.
hey,
Sir.
you, hey.
Sir.
You got maybe a little G8.
No.
I got a little G8. You were
All right,
playing G8
well,
before.
Why don't you?
Should I really go out there? Huh? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying let me just we'll wrap this up.
Well, no. We should bring
let
it.
me- No, we're not bringing anything.
Yeah.
So it was just so awkward. Thank you. It's totally crashed the show. Wait, we still got Joel's inner voice here, I think. So this might be fun, actually. So.
I haven't heard a.
I don't know why I left.
Oh no, her voice stayed
Wow.
behind in the board
Dude.
because she was mixing with your microphone. So it magically
happened
an
there?
origin story for her character there.
That was great. Great.
Guys, don't make fun of me while I'm gone.
No.
Okay, Jill's inner voice. We won't.
I'm gonna run out. I'm going.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see.
You're gonna bye, Jerry. Come out and find me. Jerry, come out.
What's happening? Don't do. Oh no. Cops are coming. All right. Jerry. Get down off the furniture. All right. WJBW Networks.com. I can't believe we're endorsing this production.
What up?
You know what I'm saying?
We're getting a call. Okay. Hello. This is JB. You're calling in. Is this?
Yeah.
Is this?
I'm calling in.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm calling in.
Oh,
let's
wow.
hear-
Thank you.
To say
Is this
that
bathroom
you guys
guy?
made big mistakes by letting that delicious run out the door.
Well, you know what happened was,
I heard everything that happened, and that delicious, she really knew what she was talking about.
Yeah.
I would have given you the bird as well.
you would have given me the bird as well,
Okay.
girl. Come on.
This is not going. Is this good? Hello? Is she
I
still
like
there?
that line.
Okay. Hello?
Is that delicious?
Is this Brad Pitt?
Ow.
Is this Brad Pitt?
This is just,
Oh.
this is all just that Jerry and delicious. You
Okay.
guys just got all this, this chemistry that
No.
you just are like
Okay,
two
sir.
school
Is this-
children
is this-
at like a playground.
Is this Miss?
Like a playground. I
What's
love
that
that.
guy's name?
You know what?
Are you wear? Do you have a mullet?
I kind of consider this a playground for me because for me to take time out to come over here every Tuesday, I would not do it if there was not a swing set up for me.
Not her.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
Seriously.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is my playground for
When
sure.
you go to the truck stop bathrooms.
Oh, that's another
Is that
playground
you?
for me for sure.
Is that another?
Oh, that glory hole
Yeah,
is
like the way he's thinking.
that's way better than a
Jerry, you
slide.
should come back. Oh, hello?
Yeah. I knew you
It's
guys
your
would
inner
just
voice.
be
You left
regretting
your
it
inner
as soon as
voice
I
behind.
ran out that door. Did you hear me burn rubber on your street
No.
as I drove away?
Oh my God.
That rubber was burning hard.
You left me here. We heard police
I did it
sirens,
like a
Jill.
figure 8 in your yard.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, I saw that.
That's not good.
Oh
Okay, well, you're definitely fired
Actually,
then.
I don't have the wheels to be able to burn rubber. I wish
okay.
I did. I tried
Wait,
to
this
put
is
the pedal
Jill?
to the metal
Hold on.
and peel out, but it didn't at all.
I know,
Okay.
but my windows, all 4 of them are broken,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
that's
Yeah,
not
you
not
owe
very
us
cool,
$5,000,
Joe.
Jill.
So and
Well,
we
you guys, I look forward to next week with Georgia Costa and some more good times. And
but why'd
You know.
why'd you
Don't
leave so
me here.
fast?
Don't leave me here, Jill.
because Jerry, I don't like. Sometimes we just gotta walk away.
Don't speak your mind. That was the perfect answer. Perfect answer.
Don't bring up the
That's
ugly
it.
dildo.
The
you
inner
brought in
voice
the room.
making a lot of
We
sense.
can start
Okay,
being a little
let's.
bit. We can have fun, but we can like not be mean.
You crossed the line, Jerry.
Because I
Seems
like
like Jerry
to
crossed
play.
the line.
I crossed the line. I'm sorry.
It seems like Jerry. Oh, and
I
Jerry
like-
is admitting that he crossed the
I
line.
crossed the
All
line.
right.
Victory.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry,
Where's
Joe.
your keep the Chardonnay? Chardonnay.
We'll see you next week.
Chardonnay.
It's awesome.
All right. Well, thank
All
you
right.
for calling
Seriously,
back.
I was laughing all the way out
Okay.
the door.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
we're just not used to that
I laughed
TV
all the way out the
reality-
door as I tried to peel out.
that reality
I was like,
TV
that was the
behavior.
worst
We
accident
just
ever. I tried to peel out and it didn't burn at all.
okay. Well, that's good.
She left.
Thankfully,
I did hear her. She was going.
I want a car that peels out.
I have to live here.
I just want to peel out sometimes when I leave people.
You did.
Don't you guys wish you could just peel out?
Oh, I peeled my banana yesterday.
What? All right. Let's not take it there.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Well, peel your banana later
Well, okay.
tonight too, Jerry. Get
All
that
right.
all
Well,
peeled
Jill
out.
somehow
before
is
next
calling us back.
Tuesday.
Thank you for doing that, Jill. All right. So,
And
yes.
great night tonight, guys. We'll see you next week. No hard feelings.
Okay.
Jerry, shape up.
Okay. Wow. All right. Good deal. All right. Thank you, Jill.
Good night, you guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Oh, boy. Wow. That's a momentous moment there. So I guess she called back in. What does that mean? What is it? Can we look this up in the book? What should we do? What do we should do? I don't know. We're going to have to wait till see what happens here. See if we can put aside the personal differences and still produce the show. Let's see. Let's use my show as a test of friendship.
Yeah, I'm still here.
We're holding hostage your inner voice. So anyway,
nothing but love.
Yeah, nothing. All right. Well, appreciate you doing that. A little AK to bring us out of the house. We appreciate you. See you next time.
Yes, next time.
Yo.
WJBW.
The electronics are so predominant that people would really prefer that.
All right, there you go. See, that was fun. I think maybe listening to it now, not maybe in the moment. Anyway, so that did actually spawn a little bit of a rift between the Reverend and Jillicious. For a few shows she actually didn't come back, and it was ironically the next bit that I got queued up here was the first time we broadcasted live from Maxine's on Shine. It was 2016, March 8th, and Beebs was our special guest in studio. So we've got that session queued. So Jill is back, has returned. And I will say this year in 2016, we actually changed the name of the show like mid-year. So before, we go any further, just know it was the JB Web show. And in 16, we changed it to the JB Rev show. So just be aware that reflects that the Rev and I. So we're giving you a little bit of a history of our show here over the last, again, season 9 years. There's a lot of content there. And I thought you'd appreciate a little bit of a capsulation of 2016. So again, this is the first time we broadcasted from Maxine's on Shine, March 8th, 2016. It was called our Maxine's After Dark edition. And here was an interview we were able to cobble together with Beebs. It's only about 13, 14 minutes or so, but enjoy this.
WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show.
We're coming back, baby. Oh, yes, WJBWnetworks.com. You can go there. You can talk to us. We answer your comments. We listen to your emails. The JB Web Show at WJBWnetworks.com. I'm so happy to be out here live at Maxine's on Shine.
Yeah.
This is a badass environment. There's art everywhere. There's art on the wall. There are huge music activists here, and that's what we love about them. Very local, very organic, very delightful. Jill, is your mic working?
Check. How about that? You guys like it?
Yeah, I think you're back.
I'm in.
You made it back.
This is a great place to
It
be.
is.
I feel so comfortable back here, and so great to be live from this great venue.
Yeah, it's remarkable here. And we want to thank Kirk and Maxine, of course, and they are out and about and are probably going to join us a little bit later. But right now, we just heard Loris Vidal. Before that, I think it was Kelly McRae. And then before that, we heard hashtag Right Around the Sun from our in-studio guest, Beebs. What are you showing him? Dick pic?
Nothing,
What are you
dude.
showing?
Yeah,
Dick pics?
Oh, God, there goes Jerry
my
again.
God,
showing
Jerry.
dick pics.
What the hell's he doing? All right.
man.
Well,
Come on.
Jerry, come on. We're out in public, Jerry. We're not hiding in the studio anymore.
Put your dick away.
So, okay, and now we got Belay hooked up with a good mic. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
See, there you go. Now he sounds good. All right. So everybody's mic is working now, so that's good.
Hey.
What? Oh, you were inviting. Now let's segue real quick, but we're going to include Beebs.
Why don't we talk about Beebs?
Let's keep talking about Beebs then. Oh my God!
But
okay.
yeah, it's hey, look who's
exciting.
popping
There he
in
is.
here.
What's happening, buddy? There he is. What's up? There's Kurt. How you doing, bud?
Good day.
Good to see you. Good to see
man.
you.
What's up,
we'll,
buddy?
we'll get you set up here. We'll get you set up. Hey,
man.
Here, why don't you grab that little...
That's Belay right there.
We don't have headphones for everybody, but that's me not being
Oh,
prepared. But here you go. Let's do this. Will you come back in a second?
I will.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, because we
give us 5.
We want to talk to you.
Yeah. Not to interrupt
You came back.
the
No,
melee.
Come back.
It's a melee. It's a melee. It is a melee. There's the provider of this badass place. Kirk, he's going to come back in a couple minutes. We're gonna keep chatting a little bit with Beebs, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Under the Influence, which is making a return. What is it, April 7th?
April 7th. Yep.
Okay, badass. So back at Little Indies. All right, so let's peel back, guys. So this solo album, right? This solo album. I like the solo album. We just heard Ride Around the Sun, which is delightful, very hippie-ish, very fun, very groovy, if you will. I think that's a good way to describe it. Again, kind of a little bit out of, the ilk of what you've been doing or have done. Is that kind of the direction you want to take your music? What do you see yourself, keep pushing forward with this?
I'm just trying to make music. Beebs and Her Moneymakers is super fun. We have a really awesome time. We have a super fun show. And I love making music with Beebs and Her Moneymakers. We put out an album every single year we've been a band.
Nice.
And then we were on the road for 3 years straight.
That's
almost.
incredible.
And it was just, we all needed a little bit of a break from the road because it's not as glamorous as it seems all the time.
That must have been really hard.
It's like, oh, that's so cool. You guys live on a bus. Like, yeah, you want to live with 7 of your best friends in very close quarters for 2 months, smelling each other's butts. It's
right.
fun, but not that fun.
It sounds like a bad real world.
Yeah, it's like a bad real. I mean, we all love each other, and we have a lot of fun on the road, and the road is super fun. However, there is something to be said for having your own space. Yeah, shit gets real sometimes.
It's a real world.
Right. It's a real world. Beebs and the Money make a real world.
It's like real world without the per diem,
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. And you got to actually clean up your own shit, right?
Yeah, we have to clean up our own. Yeah.
You got to clean up your own business.
Well, I got to a point where I was just like, yo, dirty socks getting thrown in the trash.
Yeah,
you don't have a bag for them.
Incinerate.
Garbage. Burning them.
I'm going to burn your clothes. You're not washing them.
All these dirty clothes laying around are getting burned.
Spreading disease. I just got leprosy last week. Remember? I got the bubonic plague and stuff. What's going on, baby? Why is this happening to me? Why? You're like Job in the Bible. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, do you? Do you?
I'm
okay, all right. Oh, you bastard. So am I. All right. Anyway, all right. So the direction of music.
So it's not okay. So to me, I don't like being pigeonholed in a genre or a style or anything. Like, I'm a creative person who likes making music, and I like singing all kinds of music, and I like creating all kinds of different shows. And I felt like with Beebs and Her Moneymakers, because we made our last album with Real Big Fish, everyone was like, they're a ska band. And I was like, we're not a ska band. We're a funk band, I guess, if you want to get technical. But at the end of the day, we don't even consider ourselves any genre. We just make music that makes us feel good. We're like a party band.
That's the best kind.
We make music that makes us feel good, that makes people want to dance.
Yeah.
And so I felt like we kind of got pigeonholed, and I'm like, I need to dig us out of this.
Yeah.
Out of the way. We're not a ska band. We don't only have to tour with Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, and and don't get me wrong, I love all those bands.
Great association.
And they're super awesome, and we have a great time playing shows with them, and I'm super grateful to Real Big Fish. They've done so much for us.
Well, it's
but
incredible.
I just like to spread my wings a little bit.
I mean, you just graduated high school.
Okay.
I just graduated. I know.
That's what I was going to say. The first 2 years,
you have wings
you
that
were
need
touring.
to fly.
You were still in high school.
I was still in. I spent my summers off from school.
How amazing!
Touring.
So you
and then I would go back, and all the kids would be like, "Oh, what'd you do this summer?" I'm like, "No big deal. I was on Warped Tour."
Absolutely.
Yeah, we did want to tell you.
Warped Tour.
We got you on the new Beverly Hills.
Hit all the genres and just have fun with it all.
So
we got you on Murder She Wrote.
This is awesome.
You're gonna be a star player.
Thank God.
On Murder She Wrote. Yes.
Now that it's documented that I just graduated high school, I can officially put that in my Wikipedia.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm probably already on there.
Well, again, hats off to you, my friend, because you've done a lot in a little bit of time, and again, it's all been
your career's just beginning.
It's all been
just begun.
It's all been kind of self-propelled by the foundation that you built. You did it the right way. I mean, you virtually
it definitely has not been just me. I mean, Orlando.
Yeah, exactly.
The Orlando music scene and the people that love music in Orlando are the reason that Beebs and Her Moneymakers was ever able to be successful. Ever.
The community.
The community. It's about the community.
This is an ongoing theme with our show.
Yeah.
Beebs, and I'm glad you brought that up because it seems repetitious if I was to bring it up, but We always say that the community of Orlando is so.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
it
so
really
beautiful.
is. It's one of those, like,
I mean, how many music scenes can you be in where everyone's always willing to help each other, always at each other's shows when they can be if they don't have a show, and it's like, oh man, our sax player got sick. What do I do? And another band's like, oh, well, we're not playing a show tonight. You want to use our sax? You know, like that's a really beautiful thing for everyone to just be such a community.
Everybody
and a
wants
music scene,
everybody to get to
make
excel.
it.
Yeah, you know, like,
and it's not jealousy, and it's
No.
you really want people to succeed here. And
Well, I think that-
Orlando's wonderful for that.
And I think that Orlando musicians understand that there is no competition when you're just being yourself. You're not competing when everyone is just doing their own thing. There is no competition. It's just a support system.
It's room for everyone.
So everyone, I mean, and I'll name them off: Leisure Chief, Asian Sun, Groove Orient, Kaylee Baker, Smoke Was the Sound. You know, Jeff and Aaron and Nolan. Every project they've ever been in.
Yeah,
Milka,
that's true.
You know,
Joseph and Jesse Martin.
Joseph
Brian,
and Jesse.
Brian
Eugene,
Chowderkoff.
Brian Chowderkoff. You know,
Geez, Man Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man Daddy.
Lester Stover.
Man Daddy's one of my favorite front people of all time.
Yeah.
Ryan
he's
Bailey.
actually he's the host of Under the Influence.
What a natural segue.
Man Daddy is one of the coolest people
He's
ever.
the host. So
Ever.
and he tells you should hear his stories.
See, that's the thing. I'm too intimidated.
Look who made it. It's
Look
the
at that.
namesake of the place, Maxine.
Maxine.
Maxine
Oh,
of
there she is.
Maxine's. Welcome. How are
Nice.
you? Welcome
Love
to
it.
your own place. Listen
Love
to me.
it.
Look at me. I've taken over. This is now JB Webbs, and
Love it.
welcome. We'll get you mic'd up. You going to talk with us? You want to?
Oh yeah.
All right.
But we'll have to
Rock
take a
out.
break so we can get you
Rocked
situated
up.
with the
Yeah,
microphone.
we got to
and
get you
whatnot.
positioned in the mic and all
Yeah.
that. But how are you doing?
Yay!
Yeah? Are you doing good? All right. You look delightful. Colonial Town South. Oh, neighborhood meeting. Oh, that's like right around here. Yeah, that's
Right.
delightful. Well, we'll get you.
But let's hold it.
Let's get you on
'cause we
mic.
can't hear
Yeah,
it all
let's
right
get you
now.
on mic. Well,
but let's
hold on.
yeah,
get your
we'll
your
finish-
wine on. Get
yeah.
your wine on, my friend. All right, so fantastic. Maxine and Kirk are going to come back. We're going to
Yep.
talk with them in a little bit. Let's finish up our chat about Under the Influence and with Beebs because is she
And Belay.
and Belay
Yeah.
have they given you the nod? They're going to do it.
Yeah.
they're
Yep,
actually
they're
going to
gonna
do
be
it.
part of- yep,
You
they're gonna
serious?
do- yeah,
You
man.
just got them right here.
Well, you know,
You're like
I put them on the spot.
You're like a Jehovah's Witness, bro. What's going on? You just converted them to Under the Influence, man.
Well, you know.
What's going
I'm
on, baby?
intimidated.
Why
I'm
are
not.
you doing?
I'm only a good storyteller through song.
You're
Now I have to
nervous,
tell
huh?
a story about a song. That's intimidating.
So-
and you're gonna have Anthony Cole there. And Anthony Cole and Eugene are probably the best storytellers. And Man Daddy are the
April
best
7th,
storytellers of all
April
time.
7th,
Yeah.
April
Yeah.
7th, Little
But
Indies.
once again, it's no competition.
No, I
so
know.
even if your story does suck, it's
Nope.
not going to be like,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
boo.
Yeah, but nobody
Story
wants to
sucked.
be the comedian that
Just-
bombs out of a lineup
Well,
of five
let me
comedians.
put it
you
this
know?
way: as long as you pick a good song, doesn't matter about your story.
I see those asshole classes are coming along really well for you.
Yeah, well, you know.
the workshops,
oh, yeah.
how to be an asshole. You're really acing
Hey,
that.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you suck, it's okay.
Yeah,
that's a good
he's-
message, though. That's a
the
good
hell,
message.
Jerry?
But
That's a good
seriously.
message. That's
Jer-
a Dave
Oh, my
Grohl
God.
message right
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
Yeah,
Jerry-
at least you tried.
Valedictorian.
A for effort.
Everybody winner.
That's right.
All
You're
right.
all winners just
Well,
for trying.
that's delightful. I love that.
You're using that word
she's
an
gonna
awful
do
lot
it.
tonight, by the
I
way.
don't care. Shut
It's
up.
not very delightful.
It's shut up. It's be quiet. It's
kinda like-
time for you to nap.
All right.
Is that roofie kicking in?
Good night,
In your
Jerry.
drink.
I'm gonna
Oh.
pick like the worst
Bill
song.
Cosby,
Like
your
I'm gonna
ass.
pick like
Like-
Amazing Grace and tell my
Do
story
it.
about Amazing Grace and
Do
make
it.
everyone sit there
What?
in silence
Don't do
listening to
that.
Amazing Grace.
This
I could
song,
see you picking a song like
this song
Macarena.
inspired me. Macarena.
Oh yeah, the Mambo
love-
number 5 was actually a huge.
Macaroni and
influence in my
cheese.
life.
Macarena
Well,
and
there you
cheese.
go, and then make us all do it.
It's got a hairless pecunia. I don't know what that is. It just sounds weird. I don't know. Oh, was it?
You're right. You inspired me. I'm doing it on the electric slide. Come listen to my story about the electric slide.
That would be
That's
something.
gonna be a good
On April
story.
7th.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going to get up and do it, actually.
Oh,
Absolutely.
see, that's a component you never thought of. What if she does that? Electric
Or
slide.
the hustle. Or the
Belay's gonna do
foxtrot. Or
the
some
hokey
kind of.
pokey.
How about that
Okay.
Tootsie Roll?
Oh, my
Belay's is
God.
Tootsie
Let
Roll.
me look
That
at
candy
Tootsie
sweet.
Roll.
Let me see that Tootsie Roll.
Let me see that Tootsie
Okay.
Roll.
Is this the freestyle rap part
Oh,
of the
yeah,
show?
We're gonna
Hold on.
we're gonna let that Tootsie
Jill,
Roll.
That
Jill's
is
all
how-
down for that. All right.
You need to let her freestyle. She
I
needs
guess
to get
I
some
do.
energy
I
out.
guess I do.
Are we going to hear another song?
I guess I do.
by Beebs?
Yeah,
Or,
well, let's
or-
mix it up.
I guess I should cue one up.
What
Let's
about
mix
Belay?
it up. Let's mix it up.
Oh, pull
Belay's
up
got a
Belay's
track,
new
yeah.
song.
Okay, where is
there
that?
are some
Hold on.
curse words in
Let me-
it, but
hold
if
on.
that's
Let
all
me-
right,
hold on.
we can fucking cuss.
How do I spell it? How do I find
you just
it?
look up Belay Lit, L-I-T.
L-A-Y?
B.A. lit.
It's called Lit the
Belay.
Fuck Up.
L-I-T.
And then
Okay.
L-I-T. And you
Oh,
will find.
boy.
And we shot the video at
The
our friend
servers
Gary's
here
place.
are awesome. Oh, lit. Oh, this looks funky as hell. All right, so let's get into a little. Hold on, let's get into a little bit of that here, and then we'll come back and we'll switch up the rotation a little bit and get Maxine and Kirk in here and Kirk.
Like Captain Kirk.
Oh! Wait, I gotta rewind. Hold on,
that
hold on,
Tootsie
baby.
Roll.
All right, so enjoy this. This is a little bit of Belay Lit, and then we'll go into a little bit of TV Girl, and then we'll be right back with the chat with the proprietors of this fine establishment. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on the Twitter machine.
Thank you for the plate of wine, Maxine.
Oh, the plate of wine was the best. That was the best.
And
thank you so much. All right.
And
thank
the
you.
Reverend.
Thank you. All right. So enjoy some Belay. It's B.L.A.Y. The name of the track is Lit. We are in studio, in Maxine's studio, and go enjoy this. All right. Check this out. We'll be right back.
Slow up. Wait till the beat comes.
WJBW, Orlando, Florida. The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow. Ooh, all right, there you go. So that's exactly what we're doing on this episode. I guess you get it now so far. So moving forward in time. Wait, what episode was that? That was episode 158, Maxine's After Dark. So listen to that whole thing. And again, that was from March 8th, 2016. Next up. Something tragic happened in Orlando in between that time and June 12th to be specific. So the Pulse tragedy took place, and the community, just like we've been showcasing in this episode, came together. I don't think like anything the country may have never seen a modern culture, rush to help the hurt and those innocently taken out. So it was about June 20th that we got this episode 173. One of our guests was Michael Wanzie. I think Brian Killeen from Plane vs. Cult was in the studio as well. So he's a part of this voice too. But we got to talk with Michael Wanzie, and that's exactly what we do. Each week we're so community minded, and each week, that just builds on top of each other, and we're moving forward consistently. So, in saying that, what I got queued up here is episode 173. The episode's title is Ties That Bind. And our special guest during that episode, local legend interview with Michael Wanzie. And here, let's just run into that for you. Okay, enjoy this.
WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show.
Hey, welcome back. JB Webb in the studio with Mr. Brian Killeen of Plane vs. Cult. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Yeah, Brian. Thank you for
having
me.
And the Reverend across the way, of
What
course.
up?
So thank you. And on the line, I am so delighted and pleased and honored to have this gentleman. I think I asked him some time ago, and then recently we got reconnected so that he was able to come on and do this interview. Welcome to the show. Let's do the proper introduction.
There we go.
Local legend interview with Michael Wanzie. Wanzie! Now, the Wanzie of Orlando famed concrete performance art actor, writer, director, Michael Wanzie, playwright,
Badass.
all around badass, Orlando activist, voice.
He's not human, he's a machine.
He thinks he's a machine. We know he's human. He's a local legend. He's on our show. You rock, my man. Thank you. Thank you. Was that too much fanfare? You give us... Thank you. Wanzie, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Local legend, without question. You, 20 plus years as the major, the 20 years of serving the community, helping it grow.
Plus.
You've done more than that. We thank you so much for doing it. I love to find out about people's origins and backgrounds.
It's over 30 years ago that
See,
I was the
thank you.
director of the community center.
Thank you so
that's
much.
That's a point for Wanzie.
And that's Wanzie 5 million, us 0. That's right. And that's what I want is for you to guide us, because a lot of people in Orlando don't remember, maybe how we weren't such a metropolis or a kind of a thriving, growing towards a metropolis now, where it was very homey and the community is very tight. So I thank you again for doing this and being on our show. I love to hear about your origins, your background. Were you always involved in theater your whole life, or how did you kind of start the romanticism with what you passionately do now?
Well, the truth of the matter is that I was late coming to the equal rights and gay party, but so was the city of Orlando. We enjoy this disproportionate population base of gay people in direct proportion to the number of people who live here. It's much higher than any other average city of our size.
Absolutely.
Because of the theme park industry and the hospitality industry, of which we are the backbone of.
Absolutely.
So, but that also means that for a long time, we were just a very transient community. So many of the gay people who came through were just here while they were attending college, or they were just here while they were on a work program for the summer at Disney. And so it was really hard to galvanize a community. And it didn't really happen until we were hit with the AIDS crisis in the late 70s and the early 80s. And the response to the AIDS crisis brought the community together, and we've never gone backwards since then.
And that's incredible insight.
And as far as my theater, I grew up in a tiny little sports fanatic town in Shelton, Connecticut.
Perfect.
I was Catholic,
Connecticut,
very,
woohoo.
very Catholic. Went to parochial school.
Mm-hmm.
Never knew what the word gay meant. Never knew what the word homosexual meant. I just knew I was different, and that I didn't fit in, and that I had to get the fuck out.
Right.
So a few days after my 17th birthday, I dropped out of high school in my sophomore year. Got on an Eastern Airlines jet with $70 in my pocket and a 10-speed bicycle in a box.
Wow.
Got off the plane at McCoy Jetport at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And did not know a soul here.
Yeah, McCoy.
I came to work at Disney because I loved Disney and because they had a theater workshop, and I knew I could get involved with theater if I came to work here.
Wow. That is awesome to hear this, because as long as I've known about you, Wanzie, I've never heard that story. I don't think you've ever shared that on, say, the Phillips File, or maybe you have.
All right.
But in any
there.
event, that's awesome to know. I mean, that takes a lot of fucking balls.
It surely does.
Absolutely.
And I think that's again a testimony to your talent and your backbone. You're so multi-talented in the sense of actor, director, writer. So maybe give us a sample of how that kind of happened for you as you came along. Did those opportunities?
Well, thank you for all that. The one thing I can't do is sing, which is the main reason I don't believe in God, because I write music. I can't sing any of my own songs. I can't imagine that anyone would create someone with that talent or have them be able to sing. So fuck him.
Oh my goodness!
And I have a tongue that's too long for my mouth, so I have a lisp.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And what little lisp I have now is after 4.5 years of intensive speech therapy to get this good.
Wow.
And I'm still a queer voice in Orlando.
Yeah.
So nobody was going to hire me to be the leading man in the play. And
Okay.
I couldn't be in a musical because I couldn't sing. I couldn't get a decent acting job because of my lisp. And so
King's Speech.
I just decided if there was any hope of my being on stage, I needed to write my own shit to be in. And so I wrote a play for myself to be in, and that's how it started. And I've been writing
Wow.
it since.
You got to be kidding me, man. That's
And
awesome.
Now I've written and produced 25 plays and musicals.
That is remarkable, sir. I love that kind of.
And Wanzie had a question for you, and that happened in Orlando?
Oh, you're in Orlando.
Yeah. All after I came to Disney. I had there wasn't even a theater course in the high school I went to. I'd never heard of the thespian group and the thespian competition, and all that stuff was new to me when I got here. Our little town had nothing like that.
Right.
I didn't even know it was possible to go to school and take a theater course.
I got to say, Wanzie, we've had some really impressive guests on here, and I'd like to thank you for continuing that trend with us. I mean,
All right, shut up.
He's gushing over there. He really is fan Geek Boy. He listens to you every Monday.
Every Monday that he shows up.
Wanzie and Doug, Monday movie review. Yeah, that's where you may know our guest from. We're speaking with Michael Wanzie. I like to call him just Wanzie. That's an awesome name. He is Orlando at its core, and we were trying to think of a special kind of a name to put around the local legend because when we got the privilege to speak with Jim Phillips, we gave that the title, the Supreme, Local Legend Supreme. So we've never really given it any
How
other...
about Local Legend Queen?
No, okay. That he would have to be accepted of that.
Yeah. That's right.
So I would say Bear more than...
we should ask...
Oh, no, absolutely no. No bear.
Off the bear. Oh, my goodness. You've ruined the interview, Jerry.
Apparently, I am one in a lot of people's minds, and when those events are in town, I stay home locked behind my door.
You're a fantastically enjoyable human being in that you emote so much and so well, and I love that you invest the time and energy and expression to afford us that expression, and your productions, again, strewn throughout Orlando. It's Wanzie, WANZIE.com. On the line with us, freshly dubbed local legend Michael Wanzie. Thank you again. Yeah. Now I'm starting to gush, but again, I've heard you on the radio before I even got to talk to you. You've been all over the place. You've done so many great things, but we were kind of going with the trajectory of you conquered a problem with a badass solution that gave you another kind of extended skill set. So you started writing for yourself, and that was 80-ish.
That was a very well constructed sentence and grammatically correct as well.
Wow. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Call me.
That was the draw for me to be on this show, Wanzie. Yeah.
Thank you.
That coming off the cuff, you sounded like Anderson Cooper there for a minute.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. That is quite the compliment.
That's high praise.
Jeez, yeah.
Hello, Papa.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, Papa. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that. But no, that is kind of the thrust of why I feel that you are important to this community, and you exemplify this community very well. Now, given the past events here in the last 7 to 10 days, let's say, to be safe. You again are able to form incredible pieces of like a dissection of Americana that people sometimes don't want to talk about, or that's taboo, right? You do this very frequently, and it's almost John Waters-esque, I will say, because you tackle some great topics and do it in very great ways. So how did you
I pissed a lot of people off in the process.
That's what I wanted to get to, is where did the kind of activism of you've really crafted your voice well, and where did that kind of learning to use it come in?
Well, I'm dyslexic. I'm terribly dyslexic, and I can't look at numbers and read them straight. I can't add or divide or do any of those things. So, and in my little town that I grew up in, I don't think they knew what dyslexia was. So I was never diagnosed, and I just went through school thinking I was stupid. So I think it was my auditory skill that excelled my listening to language and absorbing the way people spoke, and really became acute and developed an ear for a dialogue because that was where I put my focus, because I couldn't do normal things like dial a fucking phone. I couldn't dial a phone number without trying it 3 or 4 times before getting it right.
Incredible.
That's unfortunately still the case today.
That's incredible.
So, because of that, very, very limited as to what I could do, for a living. I can't work anywhere where there's like data input involved, which is like virtually every job there is nowadays. And so I really, really thought I have to make something of my voice, something of my writing skills, because I can't do anything else. And that's where that part of it came from. As far as the activism goes, I was one of those people who was terribly closeted. It took me a long time to even accept the fact that I was gay, because it was, that was out of favor with God. I was going to hell. It was the way I was brought up, and I couldn't even allow myself to think that. And but once I did, I was like, well, fuck this. If I'm going to be this thing, I certainly don't want to live in a world where it's just automatic that everyone hates me. And so we need to do something about this. We've got to fix this. And my one true love of my life, the man I adored and who was my partner, died in '86, and it was right at the time that some people from Orlando were getting ready to go to the March on Washington to call attention to AIDS, and I brought a panel for him to put in the AIDS quilt that was on the Washington Mall. That was featured in the Center of Life magazine that year for the year in pictures, and really
That's awesome, brother.
shamed the Reagan administration and turned the country around with the way they thought about AIDS.
Right.
And the delving into that is what introduced me to what at the time was the start of what is now the center, and it was called the center then, but there was part of their mission statement that it was only a place to come for recreation and camaraderie, and that they wouldn't be involved in political things. And I kind of looked at that and I thought, well, here's the only place in town outside of liquor, outside of a bar, where people are gathering, and it's part of your mission statement that you're not going to get involved. And so I got very involved in changing that attitude, and then held the first really serious major gay fundraiser in town. I rented a sea escape ship, a gambling ship, that held 970 people, and no one had ever really gone to a gay fundraiser outside of a gay bar at that time. Can you believe that? I mean, it's absolutely true.
Wow.
And
what year was this?
And it
late
it would
80s?
have been, I think, around 87.
Okay, all right.
87 or 88, and Scott and Larry from Scott Laurent Galleries, two senior gay gentlemen now, who had some money. They signed a letter of credit to rent the ship, and took me at my word that we would sell it out. And David Bain, who was a big community pioneer,
absolutely
still is, but was back then.
Right.
He set up the telephone number to call for automated reservations, and we sold out the 970 spaces on the ship in 72 hours.
Wow,
that's awesome.
How anxious and thrilled people were for the opportunity to get together and do something that other people did on a regular basis, but with only gay and lesbian people. And we raised $28,000 from that 6-hour event. And so I used that money basically to hire myself to become the full-time director of that center.
Nice.
And made it my mission to turn it into a true community resource and not just a place of recreation.
So, that was go ahead.
And today the center is the focal point of where people are going to enlist help and to be helped in the wake of this crisis. That's where the donations are being dropped off and distributed from, and that's where the free counseling and grief counseling is being provided out of. At the center is where you can go for 7-day-a-week free rapid HIV testing. It really has become something I'm quite proud of.
Nice. So, I was going to ask you, with all the problems and all the obstacles that you were experiencing, where you actually got the confidence that makes you, this full frontal force that you are today. But seriously, you were all like,
What did you just say?
But I mean, seriously, I mean,
I was blissfully ignorant, I think, of just how dangerous it was at the time, and it was dangerous. I mean, there are people who walked in that very first gay pride parade, 26 or 27 years ago, who lost their jobs because their picture was in the paper.
Wow. That's
I remember at the Parliament House when we didn't allow cameras into the club. We would throw people out if they tried to take a picture, because people who went there had to know that they were safe from being discovered, because they were so fearful of losing their jobs.
Yep.
Wow. So,
and unfortunately, in this state, by the way, we are one of 29 states where it is still completely legal to be fired for being gay. You could walk into work.
Really?
I mean, we now have the legal right to be married, but if you publicize your marriage and that's how your employer finds out that you're gay, you could walk in after your honeymoon and be told you no longer have a job.
Today?
And that's perfectly legal.
Still today?
Yeah,
it's absurd.
That's
Today,
absolutely absurd.
Today, we are one of 29 states. We cannot get that removed from the books. It's so the staunch haters and Republican conservative assholes who think they want to preserve a Christian workspace and all this kind of crap can legally fire you for being gay, and it's perfectly legal, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
And I'm gonna piggyback exactly off of that, and I want to say congratulations, literally, for everything you did, all the right walls and all the right places that you've been putting up and working and helping in that whole community. Again, hats off to you, very angels in the sky, turning back, you making things happen by not happening, just incredible. We are speaking with Wanzie. Yeah. Wanzie, Orlando local legend. Thank you. We are honored that you're calling us.
I mean, it's a whole community, obviously.
Yes.
It wasn't a one person.
We're giving.
But
I will say this. I have cried as much in the last 10 days over the acts of kindness I've seen.
Yeah.
And because of the response of the police department, as I have over the loss of our community members. And I hope that doesn't sound
not at all.
But I am reduced to tears when I see the extraordinary steps that the OPD are taking.
Absolutely.
When we were the angels down at the funeral.
Yes.
Here's an example of what the police did. We put on Facebook where we were going to meet to get dressed as angels to go and obscure the hate signs from Westboro Church.
Right.
We didn't necessarily communicate with the police department a whole lot. We pulled a permit. That's about it. And that's City Hall, not the police. The police saw that on Facebook and contacted us and said, we would prefer that you not meet in the park and get dressed there and walk over. It's too far for us to stretch out our resources to protect you. So we're going to block off some parking spaces in this parking garage on Jackson, and we would prefer that you get dressed there so that we can look after you.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That is awesome.
Like a little armed guard.
And then provided us with an escort and absolutely looked after us the entire time. And I will tell you, I won't bore you with the details, but somebody on that police force has some theater experience because they choreographed this goddamn event as if it were a fucking show.
Wow.
Wow.
And every rule to whatever extent they could without crossing a legal limit to turn everything in our favor. And I just was watching it and would just burst into tears thinking, oh my God, I remember when we marched on City Hall and when we had protests in city parks to demand that the police stop harassing us and demand that the police stop arresting us on trumped up charges and demand that the police stop staking out gay clubs to arrest people the moment they stepped out the door, because that was fucking happening in this town as recently as 25 and 30 years ago.
Yeah. So, Wanzie, I got a question for you because I was talking to my friend the other day and I couldn't remember the name, but I remember the loading dock. It was right there off of OBT. What was the
OBT and I-4?
Yeah. What was the rest of the name of that complex? There was another bar that we couldn't remember the name. Was it Rainbow Lounge? I can't remember the name.
Well, it depends on when you were there. One of the parts of it was for a long time was was Wilds, and then they moved a couple times. And for a while there was the Palace Club, which was the after-hours bottle club that was
Palace
in that complex, where when the bar closed as 2, you could go there with your own liquor and put it behind the bar and. Yeah. So you answered my question. It was the Palace. That was what I was looking for there. I was born and raised here, Wanzie. I'll be 47 this year, and I was brought up really well. I have an aunt that's a lesbian, actually on both sides, one of my mother's and my father's. But in any event, I was just
I don't know where I'm really going with this, but just I'm a big fan of yours, man, and I really admire what you've done in this community and the voice that you really do have so much couth, and the whole way you've been you've been handling your Facebook page with the turn your back for Dick Scott.
Okay.
And I'm
thrilled with that. It worked. He was there with
amazing.
his speech in hand, but never walked on stage.
Which is even better. Amazing.
Yep.
And he definitely got
word.
word.
He looked out at 50,000 people and realized this is being televised, and that the world's press is here.
Yes.
And I'm going to walk out on that stage, and 50,000 Floridians are going to turn the back on their governor. And so,
well, there you go. That shows you the
at
power.
least accomplished that.
Absolutely.
The power of the people. We are on the line with Michael Wanzie, incredible producer. Go to wanzie.com, WANZIE.com. And
as long as you're giving out the web address, I can say there's not much to do there other than look in the left-hand nav and click on subscribe to the Wanziegram.
Okay.
I don't keep the site updated, but I have a weekly newsletter that goes out every Thursday morning called the Wanziegram. It's free to subscribe to. It takes about 90 seconds. And every week it's everything there is to do entertainment-wise in Orlando and everything you need to know about gay and lesbian events.
Speaking of which, do you have any gigs coming up here?
No, where's the best place for people to go? You just came out of the Fringe, obviously, and then into this tragedy. So, in saying all of that, I wanted to, again, thank you and really venerate you as a true core Orlando pillar.
No doubt.
In the community. Because, again, you've really donated a lot of your time and energy to, make sure that not only there's equality here in Orlando, but that there's entertainment. There's quality entertainment. Equality and quality entertainment. Michael Wanzie, call me. I'll write your commercial.
It is fun. It's one of the. It's indicative of the transformative power of art, especially visual arts and the theater in general. Because here's truly what happened. We did. I did a show at the Parliament House back at the turn of this century called Carolina Moon. And it was true. It was based on truth. It was based on Don season throwing everybody out of the trailer park, the Carolina Moon trailer park, in order to make room for the timeshare.
Yeah.
And all the crazy quilt characters that lived there being displaced. And it struck a chord with people because of all the references to past Orlando. And a show that was supposed to run for 5 Saturdays ran for 7 months. And,
wow.
And the senior citizens started coming to see it after reading the reviews in the mainstream press because it was mentioning places that they remembered and loved. And I got some very beautiful feedback from that. And that was a turning point. And then suddenly, little by little, the Footlight Theater became just another place in Orlando to see theater.
Yeah.
And the general theater-going public began going there despite the fact that it was in a gay bar. Then a few years later, we did Ladies of Viola Heights, which was completely rooted in Orlando history and Orlando nostalgia. And it ran for 9 months of sold-out performances.
I saw that show.
And at the 6-month mark, the Sentinel came and did a human interest piece on it with pictures and did nothing but interview senior citizens who were there to see it and asked why they were there. And then them talking about how, they came once and they left immediately. The next time they came, they stayed a little while. Now when they come, they plan on staying to dance and tip the scantily clad boys on the box dancer boxes, So theater has that power. It really does, and I'm thrilled that anything that came out of my pen helped bridge that gap. It's humbling.
Well, Wanzie, this is Brian here. I think I want to say, man, I think it's amazing what you've done, in that you've been here for a long time. You've mentioned the word transformation, and I think it's brilliant that I don't know if it's like the last 15 years, if the internet has anything to do with it, where when the going gets tough, you just kind of relocate, you move around, you take another job, you just go here and there. But that's not the case with you, man. Like you've like really stayed in this place and watched this city morph into what it is right now, which is really like to be quite honest with you, talking to people that I know personally who have lived in like the big cities, New York, wherever, and you hear this word gentrification, you hear these words that are really chilling. These progressive cities that have now become really complacent in their stance for social justices, and we've seen Orlando now, man, like because of people like you, really truthfully change and become this beautiful place that it is now. I just think that's like kind of like what America was supposed to be about.
We're growing up.
Yeah, man. Like, I just think that's like
right. I know it sounds almost cliche coming out of your mouth, doesn't it? But it absolutely is true. You couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah, and it was
Kudos.
very
Good
well
job.
Punctuated as well.
Thank you, Reverend.
Punctuated. yeah. Reverend. Good job.
And I got to say, I liked when Wanzie was talking earlier how he kind of trumped your little thing. It was
okay. 10 million. Now 10 million to zero.
Like that? I don't know. I didn't think I had any points in this at all.
Well,
I'll go to our guest on the phone again. Thank you so much, Wanzie, for doing this. We appreciate your time. And listen, as we say, anytime we can help do anything or shout about something, a little air support, let us know, and we will do the best with that we can from our humble little audience base here and what we do in Orlando.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, and I appreciate the opportunity. So, in return, let me say, send me a logo and a blurb about the show, and I'll do a piece on it in the Wanziegram. I have 2,500 loyal subscribers who tend to go and do and listen to the things I suggest. So
awesome.
I'm happy
Incredible.
to do that for you.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
We're available on all.
That's fantastic.
All formats.
All right.
Yeah, Wanzie.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, so send me my name backwards, Wanzie Michael @gmail. Send me whatever you want. I'll do a piece. Send me some pictures of you guys doing your thing and
Rock the house.
whatever blurb
Class
you want.
act.
And
absolutely, we'll do, man.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome, man.
Well, we are speaking with Mr. Michael Wanzie, again, one and only founder, kind of a founder of the Vibe here that's on Showcase for the entire world.
The Vibe founder, Wanzie.
I'm serious.
No,
For the
absolutely.
entire, we're seeing kind of your baby. So thank you for that again, Wanzie, from the bottom of
And
my
is
heart.
there
I
anything
sincerely
you
thank
want to say, Wanzie, before we, is there anything?
Yeah, we're going to play some jazz next in honor. Right?
Yeah, I'm just I think it's interesting. Such a big deal is being made, and deservedly so, of the community response in the wake of this shooting. But anytime my puss has been in front of a camera this week, I've tried to drive home that this is who we were before this happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially we as a gay community, we've had to deal with the AIDS crisis and no one caring. We've had to deal with Matthew Shepard being strung up on a fence and left to die and no one caring. We've had to deal with, White House administrations who wouldn't ever touch a pen to a bill that did anything to make us be accepted as normal human beings. Mm-hmm. We've had to deal with all of that. And they're just, there's not a damn month that goes by in this city, in our culture, where there's not a dozen fundraisers going on year after year after year to help this person who got cancer or that person who got AIDS or this person who
needs a
accident.
kidney. Yeah.
It's what we do, and we do it well, and we do it often. So this spirit of camaraderie, I think, and the spirit of helping has, I really do believe that it was born in the gay community and it spilled over to the larger community.
Let's say
but
that.
It is Orlando,
Absolutely.
and it's what we do. And this tragedy has just magnified it because it required a larger response. But people didn't just decide to be automatically compassionate overnight because the shooting happened.
Right.
Absolutely
no, you're right.
not.
Exactly correct. And what you just said really struck a chord with me because it's exactly that. Maybe this is the genesis of why Orlando, and that's a great point, why Orlando is such a magical, open place and a loving community, art, music, theater, all of that. And so I never thought about that.
Over time, people have become to realize you can't run a hotel without gays and lesbians. You can't run a theme park without gays and lesbians.
Or a restaurant.
You can't time without gays and lesbians.
That's right.
Face it, the Florida economy would bust and the state would go bankrupt if it were not for gays and lesbians, and that's just a fucking fact.
There it is a fact. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Pulp fact with Wanzie.
We would have no fun
Yeah,
whatsoever.
call in every week and give us the straight dope because you rock. There's
Yeah,
without
man.
question.
Totally.
You
All right.
co- or at least
Listen,
once a month. But
I don't know how long you guys stay on, but my time is up at 8:30. So
well, you're
Awesome.
incredible.
Thank
I
you.
gotta move
Thank
on to
you.
my next
Thank
interview.
you. Thank you. Yes,
Great
he's
talking to you,
telling the
Wanzie.
truth.
Yeah.
Wanzie, local
All right.
legend,
Thank you so
rocking
much.
out.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yes, we do too, man. Thank you.
There he goes.
You do a
Incredible.
great job, so send me your shit, okay?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
we will. We
absolutely.
love you. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much. One and only
I love you
Wanzie.
too.
Wanzie.
Yeah, man.
Wanzie called in. He did it.
Love
He did
wins.
it. Yay.
Yeah. Love wins.
That
for
is
sure.
remarkable. Love does win.
Wow.
That's a beautiful thing. And on that
That was
note,
great.
Yeah, on that note, we're going to get ourselves right. We're going to, courtesy of a little bit of Leisure Chiefs, I believe.
Oh,
nice. Oh, yeah. Very
Leisure
cool.
Chief. We're going to get a little relaxed and then come back and do a little bit of news and get the heck.
That's right.
Your phone calls, 407-379-9529. Dig it.
WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show.
Pop up. Thank you for joining us live as we play pre-recorded bits. It's awesome. So that last bit there was from episode 173, Ties That Bind, our featured guest there, Michael Wanzie. Every week we try to do a local legend site, and we're throwing these local legends all around. People don't think we're listening, but we are. And that's kind of the point of everything. As we move through 2016, I'll let you know we were forming up the JB Rev. So this is about, fall of 2016, I think. And we're forming up JB Rev, right? So JB Rev is kind of coming here a little bit. We started season X, which was season 7. It was predominantly the Reverend and myself at that point. And we got the chance to interview a guy that does a morning show out in Tampa. Mike Calta. This guy is just a great broadcaster. So if you haven't heard of his show, go check it out. Google it, Mike Calta. Do it. Can I get the board? Hold on, I'm live here. I'm all by myself. Can I get the board? Yeah, let me get the board at least. Come on, let's go. There he is.
Google that right now.
Thank you. One more time.
Google that right now.
And then what?
Google that right now.
And I should also
Google that right now.
Okay.
I'm not gay no more.
What?
I'm tired of this little girly man.
I will. Love. A woman.
Talk about the cock. Talk about the cock. Talk about the cock.
Those tiny little hands that make my cock look so big.
Fucking asinine.
Okay, wow. That's a lot of hashtag premium pieces edition. I'm trying not to laugh. That guy cracks me up. Thank you, the Reverend. Some classic pre-recorded little segments. Hey, wait. Oh, so this is going to be our season 10. Season 10, I've been told, is going to be all pre-recorded bits with me curating it live. Because the future. All right. Goodbye. Next up, let's get this. It is episode 182. Mike Calta. Enjoy.
WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back, WJBW.
That was hitting some Halo Milo, bro.
WJBW, the JB Rev Show, focusing
That was
on
good,
a little bit
man.
of music, a Halo Milo.
Yeah.
Isn't that some badass shit?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, we
I'm,
were just
completely
talking about
impressed.
that last track was a little bit more like what he was talking about, where he's doing kind of
Yeah,
all of
electronic,
the other sounds
Dude.
around that you don't know.
Good
Yeah.
work.
Good work.
Good shit,
Bravo.
man.
Bravo.
Yeah.
What a talented guy.
Yeah.
I was hoping that we would get an early call from Mike Calta, but it's not.
Speak of the devil.
Speak, and it's
Let's see what happens right here.
There we go. Welcome to the call. It is WJBW. Who this be?
Michael Calta.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Local legend interview with Mike Calta of the Mike Calta Show.
Don't go here, Callie.
He's a badass motherfucker master in the morning over there in Tampa. Tampa Morning Radio. Stop that over there.
Yeah.
The Reverend across the way. We all want to venerate this guy in a talented way. Local legend Tampa edition. Badass wake up in the morning, feel like you don't know what the hell's going to happen because you're in the 90s, but it's very topical. It's very today. It is the morning man over there on 102.5 The Bone himself,
right.
and freshly dubbed local legend. We appreciate you, man. I love you for all of your innovation, everything you did at an early stage in your career. And I know you're from New York, I believe.
Yeah, by the way, nothing makes you feel more like a douchebag than being called a local legend or legend of any kind.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Making you feel right at home.
So many people that want you to call them that so badly, so that when you hear it, you're like, "What? I become that douchebag."
It's not that. No, with us, it's a rock solid title, and we started doing this with people that, especially we venerate people in radio, and again, it's important to us because we understand a lot of the stuff that happens day to day, and here we are an unfiltered voice where nobody's fucking telling me to praise you like this besides me.
That's right.
I appreciate the fact that you get up every day and you bust ass over there and you bring original content to Tampa Bay. That's noteworthy. And so to us, that's a local legend. Now, 20 years, whether you've been doing this 20 years, I think you're right on the cusp. But what I'd love to hear, what I'd love to hear people about their origins, give us some sense of you and radio. How did it gravity come into play? You know, where is it like, okay, this guy's voice is just, we got to get him on.
You have
we
a goddamn
do it.
good voice.
Yeah, we got to get him on right now. How did it all?
My voice.
How did it all
my
happen,
voice is
Mike?
whiny and lispy, and
Oh,
I
my
can't
God.
believe that people.
You don't know what you're talking about right there. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So how did you gravitate towards the radio? What?
I was going to. I could hear me feeding back to me really bad.
Oh, we don't hear it on this end. So he's over there. The intern's touching the buttons
that
right
seemed
now.
like it worked.
All right, there we go. So what gravitated you? What got you into this field?
I was going to shitty Pasco Hernando Community College. Not that community college was shitty. It was just I didn't want to be there.
Right.
And I was going for a TV production. I wanted to work at Universal. It was just being built, and it was going to open up. So I wanted to go to UCF after I graduated and work there. And I had this big plan to be the next Steven Spielberg, even though I didn't know a fucking thing about movies.
Right.
And I figured I should probably go get an internship somewhere in the media. And I ended up at the Power Pig, which is one of the most famous top 40 stations in the country, and I couldn't have started at a better place at a better time.
Nice, very nice. Where was the Power Pig?
What year was it?
Yeah,
that was in 1992, 93, and they had just had this huge radio war with Q105. Both the stations, Q105 was the Heritage Top 40 station in Tampa, and launched a bunch of morning zoo douches across the country.
Right.
Scott Shannon was one of the biggest guys, and then this station that couldn't be touched. These guys from J-Corps came in, put the Power Pig on the air, and just dismantled it.
Wow.
And no big radio station had ever been taken down like that. And the guys who did it are like credited as being some of the most brilliant guys in radio. And me, as a little fat intern, had the opportunity to be in the building and watch those guys and learn how it happened. So my first entrance into radio was Radio War, so it was a fun time.
Wow. So, and you said this is 93?
So I started in 92, the end of 92, 93, and all runs together.
So that explains a lot, though. That explains a lot in kind of your current mantle as Mornings in Tampa. And I want to kind of get to how that organically and maybe some, pushing behind the scenes. But right now, 102.5 The Bone. That's online, but .com. You can go there. Check it out. It's Mike Calta in the morning, 6 a.m. to 10. Mike Calta Show. And he's on the line with us here. What I love is give us a story, Papa. Tell us, kind of give us the trajectory. How the hell did you get where you're at?
No doubt. I mean, like... Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as getting to the morning show, I worked at the Power Pig. I worked in promotions. I did a bunch of, I painted vans and moved the program director, and he moved houses and did every shit job I could just to get in the building.
Right.
And worked my way in, and I got my first shift of where I would be there just pushing buttons and progressing music overnight, and Christmas came and people took vacation, and you get on the air, and you just work your way up the ladder there. And then I worked with Bubba the Love Sponge for a little while at night.
All right.
And then when his show when the corporate merger starting and companies started merging with other companies, we
Right.
went from the night show there to the morning show at 98 Rock in Tampa. And that's really,
Okay.
at that point is where we got to do a lot of fun radio. That's where we got to do a lot of shit that ended up resulting in FCC fines. And,
Right.
Every day would wake up and would be like, what can we do to get in the paper? And it was fun.
Wow. And,
And eventually I got fired from there. And then I went on and did my own show.
Nice.
And this is the story of success, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you
I mean, you
gotta
gotta go through some
You got to
failures
push through.
to
Yeah, you got to break through
hit
some
that.
walls sometimes, Jerry. So that's good. That's good tips for you.
Right, yeah.
Mike
Not for
Calta.
me.
Mike Calta on the line of the Mike Calta Show in the morning. We appreciate that little kind of snippet. But you spoke about being born into the radio wars, and I feel like that's probably what helped you burgeon up into basically what happened, I guess, was you bumped Bubba the Love Sponge out of that morning spot in Tampa. And that's, a huge point, obviously. I would be a fool not to mention that, but...
No, I in all honesty, I think it had not little, but less to do with me bumping him and him bumping himself.
Exactly.
Okay.
I didn't want to go to mornings. I had no interest in
Right.
getting up early. I have kids.
Right.
And we were very successful in the afternoons, and there really wasn't much competition, so I didn't want to have to even deal with that. I was sitting,
Plus-
sitting pretty in the afternoons.
Yeah, and let's face it,
they
afternoon.
decided not to.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
Let's face it. I mean, afternoon drive times better than morning, just because if you're going to have a personal life, that's where you want to be.
Sure.
So for you to give that
Sure,
up,
Yeah, your quality of life is a lot.
exactly, your quality of life it definitely changes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a 40-something-year-old man that has to go to bed at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night if I want to be
Right.
And it
Yeah, you
never
gotta be
actually
sharp
happens.
tomorrow.
You don't get to bed till like 11 o'clock, and you're dragging ass all the next day.
Exactly.
There you go. He just won the show.
He did
Congratulations!
win the shit.
Yeah.
Mike.
Well, what I want
Great
to
answer, Mike.
What I want to say too is what was the integral part of getting your AV. Street cred out there, especially before, and everybody now they got to show for their damn pinky finger. Everything's got to show. What you were doing, 10 years ago, 5-10 years ago was, AV quasi radio web show, kind of what we talk about, having that audio video, but you guys did it for real. What was the integral part of all of that kind of occurring or happening for you? Because you guys were one of the select that I know that had such a big presence.
Well, we had done so much cool stuff in the afternoon that was visual, and we had to describe it as a radio show. Say, hey, this is what we're doing. It's funny. It sounded good, but a lot of it just was a lot of yelling and laughing. And I said, man, if people could see this shit, this would be huge. And I said, let's work it into a TV show. So we approached one of the local TV networks, and they loved the idea. So we had an investor who came in and put in a bunch of cameras, and we hired a production team.
Damn.
And, we had everything all ready to go, and TV is expensive as shit. So every week we were busting our ass to pretty much break even. So once we fulfilled our contract with the TV station, we were like, we don't have enough time to be breaking even. If we were, becoming rich every week, it'd be worth it. But we got a radio show that's got to be our priority. And when it was over with the TV station, we said, look, we have all this equipment. And Joey DeSanto, who does all our video stuff, said the web is the future. We already have the equipment in place. Let's just put it online and go live.
Nice.
And I presented it to Cox, and Cox thought it was a good idea, but they didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Right.
So they were like, yeah, do whatever you want to do. So we did it, and they waited till it became successful for 5 years. And then they said, hey, this is a great idea.
What'd you do?
Yeah,
Let's do it with all our stations.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
look at what you're doing.
They pretty much took over the video controlling. They bought it from
Okay.
us, and
Okay.
Joey still runs
Wow.
the whole deal. And they actually
Smart.
went out with their budget, made it better, bought better equipment, and it's a better deal now.
So this is all the equipment that's in the studio now at 102.5 The Bone, like the.
Yeah, since we started, we had we had a couple of digital. We had 8 digital cameras, I think, and then now we have a new studio. The studio was built with TV in mind.
Gotcha.
We have better cameras. We have monitors, and it's actually like a real TV studio.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I've seen it a couple times online, and it really is quite impressive. It reminds
It's
me.
hard to do the radio show. You got to ignore yourself while you're doing it. Because you get too caught up in staring at yourself and figuring out whether you look good.
Should
or
I turn this way?
At your fat side or your skinny side if you have one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all fat.
Oh, don't call him Cowhead.
Just...
Mike Calta in the morning over there, 102.5 The Bone.
Yeah.
I love to say that. They've done a great job, real progressive in getting that lineup together over there. It's pretty razor sharp, and I love that you're a huge part of that. I think that, if anybody listens to your show, it's relatively infectious, and for being a public, for being out there on the radio still, again, it is an ode to the days where, anything goes. So you definitely got that
I find
intrigue.
it interesting that you guys in Orlando even are familiar with the show. It's even though it's only an hour or so, hour and a half away. It's different. It's 2 radio markets away.
Yep.
And it doesn't bleed into Orlando very well. You actually have to go and search for it. So I'm pretty flattered that you even know the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mike, you've got a great name. Like, and yeah, I'm getting lost because we are so close, and with the technologies these days, I mean, if you got a newer car, I mean, you can stream. I've got the 102.5 the app on my
102, iHeartRadio. There you go. That's the crazy thing is that it's Cox
iHeart.
Radio, but they're on iHeart.
No, I have
too.
the 102.
Oh, there's the Bone app.
Yeah, exactly. So
you can listen to it anywhere that you get online. iHeart has it, TuneIn has it, but if you get the Bone app, you can actually watch. They've really made the web video friendly, so you can actually watch a show there. And part of the success of the whole station is that in addition to having some great people in Tampa, we plucked the best people out of Orlando with Drew Garabo and Soul Brother Kevin and guys who made their names there.
Exactly. And I wasn't even going to bring that up, but I'm glad you did. I mean, we've had Drew on before. Drew's a great friend of mine. He was in my wedding. And so I've got
really?
really. And so it's like, it's just so I'm a little more biased than most people. I know a lot of history of Tampa and how cutthroat that market is, and to be honest with you, Mike, I don't know too much about you except from what I've heard from Drew that we've had in conversation and how much he really appreciates you. And I just all the crap that the radio drama thing sometimes just is overwhelming.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's very childish. It's very
it's
very high school.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's fun when you keep it to the radio.
But then when it gets
fun,
personal, oh man, that's like that. It shouldn't.
I don't even mind if it's personal about me. I can handle it. But
but when you bring your families,
that's just bullshit.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it's like it's
going
just,
all Sally Jesse Raphael on him here.
Well, not really. Not really. I mean, it's just it's nice. I know he's a good guy. And and it's just nice to be able to have him on the show and talk to him.
You're not the father, Mike. So
you're not the father.
Congratulations.
Yeah, do it, dude.
Clearly.
I feel very
not the father.
I'm glad to have him as a guest.
Yeah, he's badass right now that
praise.
who we're talking to.
That's
and
right.
again,
That's
it's the
right.
morning man out there in Tampa, 102.5 The Bone.
Yep.
What the hell do you want to do that you haven't been able to do so far in your long storied career? Is there anything stripper baloney sluts, what is it, calzone strippers, anything you want to try?
There's an endless ridiculous mind of ideas, and we have some stuff coming up the next couple of weeks that is just at the end of the day when we have a really good show, like we decided one day we wanted to have a foam party. They had those foam parties in the 90s.
Oh yeah, in the 90s.
Where we just fill it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, let's do that here in the studio, and for no reason. It doesn't translate very well on the radio. We just got a bunch of drunk girls, and we foamed the whole studio. And at the end of the day, we were like, that's our job. That's what we got paid to do today, and handsomely. And it was successful for a huge corporation, and that's the best job in the world. And you can get up and go, what's the dumbest shit we could do today and get paid for it? And we continue to do that.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Mike Calta on the line. That's funny. I apologize.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate the time that you spent with us so far. And what I love to hear is a little bit more about you can't get away with all these shenanigans without doing some good in the community, right? That's kind of how radio's built. So give us a sense of some of the badass stuff that's going on over there, and humbly so. We're not asking you to tout the charitable stuff you guys do, but I think it's important for people to know the community involvement.
Yeah, we do a lot as as it's necessary. You know, we don't a lot of places that have their own charities and their own. That's a bunch of bullshit that they could throw in your face all the time. And they could say, "Look, I have a charity with my name on it, and we've given so much money to little kids." And we just do things as they come up. Christmas time, kids want toys. Thanksgiving time, people need food.
Right.
Something pops up, a veteran's house burns down, we'll find them a place to live.
That's badass.
We always are conscious in the community, and we've got a lot of support with not only the station but with our sponsors. And you know, people are willing to, and our listeners are ridiculous. Whenever we need something, we rarely ask them for money. We're not constantly hawking merchandise and trying to get them to buy shit from us. So when we say, hey, we got a situation and we got a GoFundMe page, they come out like crazy.
They know
we
it's
try
real.
not to do it because
that's awesome.
When we need to, we know that they'll come out.
Yeah, you're not crying wolf over there, and that's what's beautiful about what you're doing.
Totally.
Yeah, and we're not raping them, no, and we got a bunch of loyal listeners, and we get a bunch of funny sayings and dumb cartoons and all that. We're not trying to throw everything on a fucking T-shirt and get $20 from our listeners every week.
Right.
It is, you know, when we decide to do something, we usually donate all the money to charity anyway.
Nice. That's awesome, Mike.
That's badass. What I love is, again, the cowhead moniker kind of came off, but you had that for a while. You could talk about as much or as little about that as you want to, but kind of push off of the burgeoning into, hey, I'm Mike Calta from, hey, this radio character name.
So, wait, before he answers...
when I got started, everybody had dumb names. When the Power Pig was the Power Pig,
right?
And everybody that worked at that station,
that was the station.
They all had alter ego names.
Junkie the Bear.
Pretty much how radio was in the '80s and the '90s,
right?
And people got away from that by the middle of the '90s. It was starting to. It was the only station you get is Sweaty Balls Mike on a rock station or something, and you wanted to get away from that. And Cowhead's not. It's not like Mike Steele or one of those.
Yeah.
Dumb radio names that actually sounds kind of cool, It's
right.
Cowhead. It's the most fucking ridiculous thing ever. So we realized, at the time, I think I was 41 years old and I had kids. I'm like, I don't want to be fucking Cowhead anymore. And my agent was like, it's probably a good idea if you change it. So we said, all right, let's do it. So we did it, and we had a funeral for it, and we had a roast, and we had some of the best comedians from Comedy Central come down and do the roast. Jim Norton, Jim Florentine,
wow,
and Greg Fitzsimmons, and we had the writers for Letterman down there. It was a big deal.
Man, that is a big deal.
That was it. And it went away the next day. And everybody's like,
it was gone.
A couple years. The next day,
you killed the Cowhead, though. You killed an old radio persona, so that's fantastic.
And then kept it going.
I'm still the same idiot. Just people still call up every once in a while and go, "Hey, Cow." Oh, I'm sorry, because they want to say it, but just because they've been used to it. But it's really it's the same idiot, just different names.
It's got a little bit of lore. But yeah, I know exactly what you say. It was like everybody in radio had two first names back in the day or something like that. Maybe they come.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Jim Bob. All right. Well, Mike Calta on the line. Badass. So are you from New York? You're from up north?
Yeah, I grew up in Staten Island, which was made to look very wonderful and on the Jersey Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the douchebags that were on that show came from Staten Island.
Okay,
which is why my parents wanted to get me the fuck out of there when high school was over.
Wow.
And I've been here since I was 18.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So you kind of just said, "Hey, I'm going down on this." Was it? Hey, I'm going down for good, or was it like, "Hey, just a trip" at that time?
No, I came down like I was literally, it was days after I graduated high school. My mother packed everything. Me and my brother, she got a job down here, and I had no choice in the matter.
Wow.
And brought us down here, and I always thought I would leave at some point, but
okay.
I love it here. I mean, I've grown up here. I've started a family here, and I can't see me between now and 65 leaving this area. And if I do, know that I just became really, really rich.
That's awesome.
On the line, Mike Calta of the Morning Show.
It's been great.
It's been awesome. Definitely, we dubbed him a local legend. Shut your kid up over there.
And
What's
like you
wrong
said,
with you?
you basically called him a douchebag.
No, I didn't.
Well,
no, I
you
didn't.
said-
No, I didn't. That's what he said.
Yeah.
But we appreciate kind of the friendship, the kinship between, you giving us a little bit of time. And I know, again, you get up at the crack of dawn. So this is like, 11 o'clock at night almost.
Yeah.
So you mother effing rock.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
What you want?
It's my pleasure. Anybody that's interested in talking to me, it makes me happy. I'm happy to do it. And also, I'm fans of podcasts and people who do
What do you
live
listen to?
broadcasts. If I wish they had this technology when when I was first getting into radio, and I think it's a great move.
You were owning an
certainly
empire,
where it's headed for in the future.
No doubt.
Right. Well, rock the house, a fellow visionary.
These millennials don't know how lucky they have it. These crazy kids.
Gen X rules. Yeah, we got all Gen X going on.
Yeah,
tonight,
this is all Gen X.
All right, Generation X.
That's right. That's us.
Mike, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Anything you want to kind of throw out there in last closing little moments, or anything we can look forward to in the upcoming future that you're maybe allowed to leak out?
Besides the phone party?
Yeah, phone party.
Can I be a guest?
I don't know. Phone party's old. I don't know. Do you guys in Orlando? Do you guys go to the Hard Rock here at all, or is that too far for you guys?
No, we go.
Hard Rock Tampa.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Why? What's going on?
We're doing every year. We have a party there. We're having it on the 16th, which is
I'm glad you mentioned that.
And it's technically my birthday party, but nobody really gives a shit that it's my birthday. It's just an excuse for us to get up there. We have a band. Our band plays Saigon Kick, who's a band from Florida that had a huge hit.
Saigon Kick
band is playing with us. And
what's the name of your band?
Invited. It's free.
What's the name of your band?
My band is a cover band. It's called Pitbull Toddler.
Pitbull Toddler.
I got a bunch of shit from the. I used to always talk about pit bulls and how they're always eating babies' faces and shit. So,
dude, this all is coming together for me now, Mike, because I know Drew
everything's kicking in for
raps
Jerry.
with you guys a lot.
The Reverend.
So, or every
Drew
now and
is
then.
amazing.
I know, dude.
For a white guy, how he can rap, and he jumps up and just freestyles.
Especially
with us every
covers.
once in a while.
And he's awesome.
Well,
He
we were
really
talking
has
about the Nature
an
Kids
amazing talent.
just earlier.
Yeah,
he used to
he's good
kind of do
friends.
that. Was
Yeah.
like their front man, like
Yeah,
he's the
he's
Nature
got a
Kids.
history
He would
with
intro
Nature
them.
Kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
him
totally.
and Man Daddy. Right?
That's right, dude.
Yeah, Orlando history.
I always thought I could never tell when he was doing that on the air if it was real or what he was
that's-
doing. And
yeah.
he just we
On the
throw a
fly.
beat down and he just gets up there and raps over it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. That's
Well,
awesome.
A lot of talented people
So
on the
September
lineup
16th is at the Hard Rock, Tampa. What night is that?
Yeah, September 16th at the Hard Rock. Saigon Kick goes on at 8 o'clock. We go on at 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Drew will be out there. A bunch of people. We always have guests that stop by and play with us, and it's free and open up to everybody. It's a first come, first serve, because last year they had to shut it off because there were too many people. So, but, I mean, everybody's invited. We'd love to see you Orlando guys come down.
Yeah, hell yeah. Awesome, man.
Badass. Well,
Awesome.
Mike, we appreciate again the time.
Totally. Thank
You rock. Keep moving forward. Again, what you're doing is catching attention, at least of our humble little efforts here. We venerate talented people, and you definitely fall right into that category. So you keep rocking, brother. We appreciate you.
Very nice.
We
You guys
appreciate
it. Thank
All
you
right,
for
man.
letting me on.
Have a good night, buddy.
You rock. That's Mike
Have a seat.
Calta out there. Morning man, Mike Calta. That's badass. That's
102.5 The Bone.
102.5thebone.com.
That's
So a lot of cool stuff going on with us. That was a great session with him. He really kind of laid it all out. You ever listen to the show? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I listen to that.
I'm gonna do a little song. Well, some things. There's been a lot of changes, and the whoop ass is gone clean. No more drinking and drugging, I'm on the sober team. I've never been greedy and I helped my fellow man. So when Daniel and Bean came to me and said,
Can we have your drugs?
I replied, why yes, you can.
Yeah! We can have his drugs! Yay!
Oh, yes, you can, boys. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bubba, can we have your weed?
Why, be my guest. I love you, Bean. I am the drug fairy.
The drug fairy, yeah! How about all those Darvasets?
4 before breakfast and then you're set. I am the drug fairy.
All right. Oh, drug fairy. We love our drug fairy.
Drug fairy. I am the drug fairy.
You need a drug and you need it fast.
You can call on me. I'm Bubba Whoop-Ass.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah, Bubba Whoop-Ass.
Hell yes. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, go.
Can we have all your Zanny bars?
Take 2 in a beer and you're seeing stars. I am the drug fairy.
Yeah, drug fairy. Bubba, can we have all your X?
No problem, boys. And then let's have sex. I am the drug fairy.
Yeah! Oh, drug fairy, drug fairy. We love our drug fairy.
Drug fairy, drug fairy. I am the drug fairy.
Need a drug and you need it fast.
Well, just call me, I'm Bubba Whoopee.
Break it down, Bubba. Take a solo, drug fairy.
Okay, here it goes.
Yeah! Yeah! Look at Drug Fairy's fingers! They're smoking! Just think those same fingers take drugs. Or used to. Yeah.
You remember, boys. Used to.
One more time around. Yeah! Oh, Drug Fairy, Drug Fairy. We love our Drug Fairy.
Drug fairy, drug fairy. I am the drug
When
fairy.
you need a drug and you need it fast.
You can call on me, I'm Bubba Whoopee. Call on me anytime. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bubba, we need some blow, of course.
Well, hop on, boys, to the big white horse. I am the drug fairy.
What if we asked you to take a hit?
Well, I'll whoop your damn ass because I told you I quit. And if you ask me again, I'll do it.
Yeah!
Because I am the drug
WJBW, Orlando, Florida. The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow. A lot of radio history right there. All in the little nugget premium pieces edition. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on your Twitter machine. You could get on there, get on that Twitter machine there, get on using that machine there. Okay. Point of all that was Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson. There you go. Burt Wilson. Along with the collaborations of Daniel Dunnis and Carlos Navarro. So some good stuff from the past of Orlando radio. Right before that, you heard a great session with Mike Calta, Tampa radio, Florida radio. I got your country thing. I don't know. This is all stuff from 2016, bruh. So catch up while it's still out there. I guess maybe this is a warning edition. Some premium pieces edition. That's what it is. So queuing up this next piece, like I've been saying, a lot of the times you can see, like in that last example there, we were the JB Rev Show. We moved to the JB Rev Show in 2016. We officially did it. So that last episode was September 6th, 2016. That last episode. The next one up is Celebration Remix Edition with Dave Cannalte was our special guest. It's only about a 13, 14, and it's kind of amputated little session here that we were able to capture. But Dave is just a true force in music greatness, local legend here in Orlando. So let's just jump right into that. We were live from Twist Hair Studio for their 13th anniversary or something like that. Again, this was 2016, but this was basically kind of our last show with Jill. So this fully was the ending of that coupling there. So conscious what? Conscious what? Okay. Enjoy.
Orlando, Florida. The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell's a popping up in here inside a Twist Hair Studio.
13-year anniversary.
13-year anniversary.
Jill,
That's
awesome.
right. Jillicious.
Awesome.
Thank you for doing that. There she is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you trying to silence me?
Nobody's trying to silence you. You're there. No, you can't silence the Jillicious
the Jill
over there. We're
Can't do
inside of the glorious Twist Hair Studio with 13 years of making or keeping Orlando beautiful. I will say
right.
that's the best way to say
Right.
it. Keeping Orlando beautiful.
Right.
And happy.
One head at a time.
One head at a time. There you go. Happy to announce we have a badass local legend session in
we do.
here.
Drum roll.
Very big surprise, and it is something we're going to do. Hold on. What is it?
Let's do the little local. We got a whole little intro.
Hold on.
Yeah, that wasn't it. There it is.
local legend interview with famed Orlando DJ Dave Cannalte. Dave Cannalte from various badass raves. You probably have smushed your face off and didn't know that was the man behind the scenes making the music. But that's it. That's it. He is the man. He is here inside a Twist Hair studio with us. We're going to get to rap with him for about 15, 20 minutes or so. Yeah. And I want to thank you so much, man. You're a legend. You're a local legend in this area. You've done a lot of great work over the years. Again, a real vibe pusher. You know, somebody who was constantly kept moving forward. Breakbeats in Orlando, the DJ scene in Orlando back in the 90s. Huge worldwide acclaim. And you played a lot of great rooms. There's an event coming up later in November.
No, it's next week. Next Thursday. Next Wednesday.
Later in November.
It's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
A week from tomorrow.
The Oz.
A week from tomorrow.
So I'm going to say huge props to the Reverend. Huge props to Dave Cannalte for getting him in here. And,
thank you for having me.
You rock, buddy. Thank you. What I want to do is kind of let Jerry kind of lead the foray into having us learn just a little bit, you know, about kind of your origins, your beginning. How'd you kind of first get acquainted with music? Maybe start us out there,
well,
Riv.
Okay, so my first introduction today was at Spit nightclub, and yeah. So, and then of course, you know, I progressed into it was with Oz.
But actually, I don't remember. I mean,
that
probably was, but I remember you more from
Oz.
From Oz, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway,
yeah. But you also, during the whole Oz time, you were also actually the music programmer and DJ for Pleasure Island, but you were the DJ at Mannequins.
Right. Well, originally I was at the Cage.
Okay.
And I wound up going to Mannequins way towards the end of my tenure there, but
Gotcha. So let's go back to your roots. Being Spit. What year was that you came down here? And
I will have moved down here 30 years in January.
Wow.
And so I kind of came in at the tail end of it.
Okay.
It was owned by a company where I was from Milwaukee. They had a club up there. I basically transferred down here their DJ had just walked out.
Okay.
And they were stuck. So
gotcha.
I kind of came down just not really planning to stay, but
so that being said, Dave, what first got you into DJing? How old were you, and what got you your first break? And because you really are legendary status, dude.
It was a long time ago, but I just always loved back then it was disco, so I know that's dating me, but it was actually called disco back then.
Right.
And I just I thought started going to the clubs, and I was like, man, DJing looks like a lot of fun.
Right.
So maybe someday I'll get to try to do it.
So, what was your first break? How did you first get into the first club and because that takes a lot.
Everything was completely different back then. There weren't nearly as many DJs.
Well, right.
Yeah, and so I just was friends with a guy at this club that I used to hang out with. One night I was in there, and the owner of the club came up and said, how would you like to DJ? Because I guess I had expressed to him that I wanted to try it sometime.
Right,
so he's like, yeah, our DJs, we're looking for, to add a couple DJs.
Nice.
So I can't even imagine how that sounded.
Well, no, dude. No,
the first couple of times, but,
So then you transplanted here to Orlando.
Moved
and
here.
You did Spit, and you met what happened from kind of lead us through your timeline there.
Well, yeah, right after I moved here, I met John Gardner, Independent Bar.
So at that time he had Faith and Physics, or did he have
that
iBar?
Time he did have Faith and Physics.
Okay,
right.
so that was on Holden and OBT,
right?
And or were you part of because before that he even had the Hague Lounge? Was it before Faith and Physics?
I never got to see that. I've heard a lot about it, but I never got to see it.
All right.
I came in completely when he was at Faith and Physics.
We've had John on as a guest before, as a local legend. So this is why this ties in nicely.
Okay.
So you met John.
I met John, and there was this guy that was hanging out with him. His name's Kimball.
Right.
And so he and I started talking. John introduced us, and that's kind of,
And so the two of you
it all started.
were at Spit together.
Well, then he started coming up to Spit, and
Right.
eventually I was able to actually get him in there to DJ.
Right.
Which was right about the time that I was going to work at Disney.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that was literally about 3 months before the club
closed.
closed. But at least he got 3 months of doing Spit.
Right. And he was also actually spinning at Faith and Physics as well for John.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, Kimball does say hello. He's on the road right now doing some studio work. And to bring back Spit Days, Icy, I heard recently that Icy used to come in and listen to you guys DJ.
Yeah.
And that was before Icy was DJ.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he maybe had just started DJing right
Okay.
about then. But
Right.
Yeah.
But he was specifically coming in to hear what you guys were playing.
He used to come in and hang out in the same corner all the time, and
Right.
We had these big. They sold these big 32-ounce beers, and he was always over there. We had sort of like his
The oil
entourage
cans.
already, and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So we go way back.
Right, absolutely. So to kind of fast forward a little bit into, this was like the late 80s and then the
Right.
early 90s. Then, obviously Oz came about.
Right.
And, I mean, tell us a little bit about
Everything sort of overlapped. So I went to work at Disney in April of
that's right.
'89, and
Right.
that's when Kimball took over for me. And
Right.
He was, I believe, already doing at that time was World War III.
Well, actually, it started Pure Energy and then
Pure
World War
Energy,
III.
yeah.
And remember Joe Ed? Joe
Right.
Ed had come in
Right.
and Kim,
Right.
So let's talk about a little bit about, you've always had your roots in music. And I said before, you were actually, a lot of people don't know this, but, basically, are we on? What's going on? Okay. So you were actually the musical programmer for all of Pleasure Island at one point.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that. I was. We all auditioned to DJ, but I was lucky enough to also get to do the programming and work with the DJs one-on-one and do all the scheduling and so.
And I remember I was just thinking Stay Space was actually working for Disney back then as well, wasn't she?
She was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was all tied in with the Oz. I mean, I don't know.
Like I said, everything overlaps. It's
Right.
crazy to think back on.
Right.
But yeah, she was working out there in one of the offices, I believe.
Yep, she sure was.
Yeah.
She was.
SunTrust building.
Yep, across
Stay
from
Space.
Stay Space.
Well, Orlando was a lot different back then because again, it was like you could do a lot of stuff, and then late night scene was huge because they weren't really monitoring it,
No.
so you could have parties until dawn, and then beyond that. So what I'm interested about is a kind of the transition, because again, as we'll get into next week, huge Oz event.
Yep.
Out
Next
at the
Wednesday
Beecham.
at the Beecham Theater, the original spot.
During kind of the lull, of where people said Orlando music, Orlando DJs, it's where it's at. During that lull and that kind of ended, what did you do to kind of keep your musical chops going? Were you kind of DJing at home, doing house parties? Did you kind of take aside and kind of say, hey, I'm going to do family stuff for a while? How'd you keep your skills fresh?
Are you talking about after the late night stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was still at Disney.
Yeah.
So basically, and I was lucky enough to during that time to also be traveling.
So you didn't really
as a
stop.
DJ. So yeah, it just wasn't as much here. It was either out of town
Right.
or I kept my 2 nights a week DJing out there.
Nice.
Out at Disney,
At Mannequins,
which
right?
wasn't a late night thing at all. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
and by that time I was in Mannequins. So yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Well, I find that interesting too, because a lot of people don't think, DJs have real life. All they do is go party, right?
Yeah,
and that's
I've
not
heard
necessarily that's not necessarily true.
That definitely was a period, I think, where as far as Orlando goes, because we'd had so many years of being such a well-known, right, a respected. Epicenter for house music, I guess,
right.
Just to put it bluntly. But
right.
Things definitely cooled off a little bit around that time, the late 90s.
So you still are very much involved in music. Can you tell a little bit about what you're doing now with?
Well, I mean, I pretty much retired from DJing.
Oh,
But I
right.
still do it here and there.
But
Obviously
you still
for Oz,
have your finger on the pulse of music in
But
general.
you're right. I work for Promo Only, which is
There we go.
music
Okay.
promotion company. So we, I get to hear new music, every genre,
Right.
pretty much, every single day.
And you know what else, Dave, is that we won't let you go away.
Yeah, it's, totally.
Yeah, there's always going to be something that we're going to have to reel you back in, have you play another party.
Yeah, bring you back out of retirement.
Because
Well,
I
like-
have a lot of your music, and it never gets old. It's always fun.
Thank you.
And definitely, we can't stop hearing the beats. So
Yeah.
every year.
And
we-
Jillicious, since you fired up your mic there, do you have a memorable experience listening to Mr. Dave Cannalte over there? Something
Man,
you can remark
it's
about?
like, I would say
something
just-
that,
I do.
that
Shit.
you
I mean-
remember.
that I might not probably don't even
Definitely,
remember, so-
I've been to Mannequins and have heard him play, and that was always fun going on the rotating disco floor.
Yeah.
I remember the one time you
And,
were doing a event at the Cage too. What was
Right.
that night that you did?
Well, Sasha actually played at the Cage.
Okay, yeah.
Which, looking
Yeah.
back now, I
Yeah.
don't even know how we made
Wrangled
that happen.
Yeah, especially with the
Right.
international.
Stacey had a lot to do with that.
I bet.
She did. She
yeah.
did, yeah.
It's an honor to be
You're
your
Jerry's
friend.
hero.
Yeah, you you're my
You're
musical
the wind
hero.
beneath his wings.
Well, let's not get crazy. I can fly without Dave.
Yeah, he flies pretty good on his own.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting cut out.
Why
I'm
did you
just
cut
saying.
out my microphone?
I can't wait till
I
next
can't leave it
week.
open because
I
it's
can't wait.
you, man. We wanted to kind of keep this. We wanted to kind of keep this a small little micro event. We got a lot of stuff going on here. This is 13 years of Twist Hair Studio, and I think it fit in really well. You're local to right around here, so that's badass. That's badass. So before we bust away with any other bandwidth, any other kind of closing remarks or anything you want to share with us, any kind of crazy stories from your DJ travels over the years? We'd love to hear stories from the road. You open.
I'm going to try to go to
Google that right now.
Peter Hook Thursday. That's
finally get to see him.
He's
Yeah.
doing Substance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Which
So
is, I guess I kind of have to.
Yeah, I need to go.
Join the future conversation.
Honestly,
in the
as far
past.
as stories go, just pretty much all of my travels. I'm very fortunate, very lucky, very grateful for all the places I got to experience. And
Dave
got to
Cannalte.
play.
That's where it cuts
Local
off.
legend interview
Local
with
legend
famed
interview.
Orlando DJ
There it is.
Dave
man.
Cannalte.
Anyway, there you go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Take it easy. Calm down. All right.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah. Slow down. This is our premium pieces edition. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on your tweet box. On your tweet box, baby. Oh, my God. Lady Raptastic, call me, girl. Call me up. Call me Lady Raptastic. Call me. We want to keep interviewing people. This is just a swatch of our 2016 catalog that we offered you. And this is, a good example to say that's exactly where kind of we parted ways with Jillicious. So at the beginning of the year, we started out with her quitting the show. And then at the end of the year, it actually kind of really happened. So that was November. What was that? November 15th. Thank you. 2016. Yeah, that's what you just heard. That was episode 191 Celebration Remix Edition. Should we do the news? I don't know. I ain't got nothing. Don't do the news. Oh, shit.
And now,
Oh, man.
breaking news badly.
Headlines are so bad. All right, there we go. Breaking news badly. Let me turn everything down. I did not expect to do this. What do we do when the art we love was created by a monster? That's a headline from Vox.com. It's an important conversation with Michael Jackson kind of a stuff there going on. So there's that. Headline. Oh, here's one. Hospitals are desperate for baby cuddlers because so many newborns are born addicted to opioids. So if you're of a kind heart, this is from where? Healthyfoodhouse.com. Healthyfoodhouse.com. That's the website. You can find out more about babies that need some loving. Damn. That's a crazy world. Well, there you go. Okay, so Americans will soon have to get a special travel visa to visit Europe. And so the Reverend's going to see about that. I don't think it starts until 20 whatever. What's the next year? 19, 20, 21, 2021? That's right. Okay. If you say so, 2021, you're going to have to get your visa and all that shit checked out if you're going to travel to Europe. I don't know. That's weird. That's like the sequestering of a freedom I previously had. I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like that episode. I don't like that article. Whatever it is. I don't like it. NASA study concludes when civilization will end, and it's not looking good for us. Is this a headline for real? Am I reading this like Dennis Miller? Hold on. There you go. That's from 2014. There you go. We got you on breaking news badly. We got you covered from news from 4 years ago. Okay. Moving on. There's a new app to help Trump supporters help find MAGA-friendly restaurants. Is this real? What is it? Oh, thehill.com. And it's current. Okay, good. So there you go. That's a headline. There you go. I'm going to leave that right there because I don't want any of that action. What do we got? Oh, April 14th. Gird your loins or do whatever you got to do. There is a Whiskey Lou's 50th anniversary. Hold on. Yeah. 50th anniversary. Is it more? Am I wrong? Okay. Whiskey Lou's April 14th. There you go. Okay.
Stay away from this, but
What?
I can't.
What?
Did you see the budget was just introduced?
Who's the
cuts.
Joe Biden?
It cuts $845 billion. Almost $1 trillion cut in Medicare.
Taking money away from people that need it.
And almost a quarter
Yeah, for
trillion,
real?
$240 billion
That's
cut
jacked
in
up.
Medicaid.
Okay. The world is not right. Take your action accordingly. Breaking news badly.
Tax cut for the super wealthy that created a deficit of $1.9 trillion, and now they got to go make somebody pay for it. Something that gave millionaires and billionaires excessive tax breaks. And who are they asking to pay for it?
Wow. Okay. Well, it's a good way to end the show.
Families like you,
Yeah.
the neighborhood I grew up in. Trading Medicare and Medicaid for tax breaks? How that's going to help anybody in this room? Or most of the people you live with? How's that going to help this country?
That's a hell of a great question. Thank you, Joe Biden.
I find it funny how
What? Oh, it's
Trump has
continuing to
stumbled
play.
across many of the things he has ridiculed black people for in America.
Okay,
and
what is this?
He doesn't
Hold on.
even see
Let
the
me take
irony
hold
in
on.
all of this.
Oh, that's
You
a
know?
serious thing.
For years,
Huh.
like when it came to
Okay.
the FBI, law
Let it
enforcement, all of that, black people would be like, oh, they have too much power. It's crazy how they can just say things about you. And then, Trump would be like, you should go to jail. And then now he's like, have you seen how much power they have, folks? They can do whatever they want. Take your life away. I mean, listen to the thing they keep on saying about all of the people who've been arrested. It's not just Roger Stone. They did it with Manafort. They always bring up the same thing. They go, he's a 60-year-old man. Is he going to spend the rest of his life in jail? And that's
All right.
literally what communities of color have been saying in America for
There you go.
decades.
There you go.
They're like, you're going to let someone spend the rest of their life in jail because of a mistake they made?
Great stuff. All right, there you go. That's the Daily Show. And that's the host of The Daily Show talking to you there. Let me get out of this. We want to thank everybody for participating in what we do on the weekly. It's just a discipline. We try to keep ourselves lightly garnered by the fact that it is a discipline. And it's solely out of love that we project all this inspiration your way. So thank you. Polka's Hottest, POCAHOTTEST.com. Finest hot sauce you ever had. Dank Orlando City Smoke Shop, Kush Ultra Lounge, Kathmandu in Winter Park, and Modern Music Movement, Ear Theater, Infotainment.com, BadassSandwiches.com, Nora's Sugar Shack, Little Indies. Thank you. Love and respect each other. It's very difficult. This is what I'm encouraging you to do. Very difficult to do this. Love and respect each other if you can do that shit. See ya. Next week, Eugene Snowden in studio. Special guest announcement next week.
I'm not an inspirational speaker. I've never lost a limb on a mountainside, metaphorically or otherwise, and I'm certainly not here to give career advice.
No, stop. All right. Shut him up. Eugene Snowden in studio next week. See ya.
Ask a shaman, ask a priest. I'm learning that I know the least. Alpha, female. Be it by faith, be it by chance. We'll make
JB Rev Show.
Is it JP? Sometimes I don't listen to some of our podcasts. Yes, I do, man. Sometimes I don't listen to some of our podcasts.
Yeah, after all this time, it's really been JP,
well,
not JB. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
You don't listen. Do you listen to the shows when you're not on them? I'm curious.
Of course I do.
I'm just curious.
Yes, I do, man.
You?
As a matter of fact, I feel bad because okay, I will give you this. I did not listen to that Monday show. I'm sorry.
Okay. You feel bad?
Well, because sometimes I don't listen to some of our podcasts over. Of course I do.
I'm just curious.
Sometimes I don't listen to some of our podcasts. Yes, I do, man. Sometimes I don't listen to some of our podcasts.
Monday night, 7 o'clock, the JB Rev Show.
Yes, I do.
WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show.